we'll have to wait and see. I'm predicting not so much. Somebody in the chat just said bye-bye Kyle Dubas. Did Dubas get the boot? Did they finally break up? I'm going to have to look at that one after the show's over. Oh, the show is almost over. Wow. It's basically 2 o'clock, Obi.
Yeah, I mean, started heating up as that 2 o'clock timing came in, so I like that. We might have some more things to, like a more lively market once we get back to our desk, right?
Yeah. Hopefully for that. If not, you know, it's Friday. It's going to be a good day regardless. Yeah. Kyle Dubas is out. His own decision? Yeah. Neil confirming Kyle Dubas is done. That's I don't think that's a very good thing for the Maple Leafs. Yeah, no.
And I'm
more
out of
GM.
there. But we shall see. Kind of got out of the position.
He didn't have a contract, so he had to sign a new contract, and one of the parties has decided not to renew. So bye-bye Kyle Dubas. I think it was him because that's not a good position for the Leafs to be in with no GM and moves to be made.
Yeah, I got fully out of that position because the way that 42 kind of retested, that was really, really rapid. And I did not like that at all. And as you can see here, the next 15-minute candle is printing below, like we opened below that 42 and kind of starting to push below. So let's see. I got some profits on a decent piece of the position, but that last piece was pretty much break even, maybe a couple penny loss. But yeah, a bit of it's kind of funny. It looks like my entries and my exits are similar prices. But yeah, look here, we're really coming down. I really did not like that push down on the ES, and it's showing itself on some of these caps here, retesting the lows. Those 20 bidders, they're not there anymore. Maybe range wick below that, but we'll see. But yeah, I think my time here is up.
We are overtime, Obi. So closing show to begin shortly. Nice hour. Happy Friday to everybody. I think Brendan is ready to go up there for the closing show. So thanks to everybody for watching. I did just get out of Meta, by the way, so done with that one. And we will see you all on Monday. I'll be on the main show.
That was a pop, lock, and drop it, wasn't it?
I think it was.
It was a pop, lock the ask, and then you dropped it.
All right.
I'm just saying, guys. All right, have a good weekend. Take care.
Hey, guys, welcome in. Yeah, Friday afternoon, 2 o'clock. That means a couple hours left until the weekend. It's a long weekend here in Canada. Not so much south of the border, but we will get a long weekend, obviously, coming up in 1 week's time. Here is how the overall market is looking to kick things off into the final couple hours we go. 0.33 there for the S&P, the Dow 0.43, the NASDAQ 0.4 in negative territory. 0.8 for Brazil, 1% for crude, 0.74 for Bitcoin, Ethereum, 1 1/4, still positive. That is the overall S&P 500, 0.3 negative right now. Consumer discretionaries lead. Downside, VFC down on the Foot Locker disappointment this morning, along with Nike also under pressure on that same note today. Some of the travel names I noticed through lunchtime there, grinding basically all the way down to day lows, essentially. CCL, 3% to the downside, along with Expedia, NCLH, all under pressure. Alta Beauty, 4.7, Etsy as well, KMX, BBY, AAP. Financials red, tech is red, industrials also under a little bit of pressure. CTLT was an earnings name in the healthcare group, but everything else actually not bad. Energy stocks, consumer staples and materials all positive, trying to offset an otherwise pretty red afternoon here as we, as I said, grind back towards day lows here. Just seeing Microvision popping up, MVIS back to day highs. Everything else, though, not bad. MNK was a big mover this morning as far as little small caps are concerned. We'll talk about that coming up. We'll talk about big tech. It has been pretty impressive all afternoon as far as individual movers are concerned. Really the bright spot on the afternoon on an otherwise pretty negative afternoon for the market. But I mean, if you have a look at some of the names we were dealing with this morning, including Google, just back to basically flat at this point, holding on to 122.5 here, the top of yesterday's range. But overall, we do give back that huge reversal, 126 all the way down to 122.5. So Fed Chair Powell comes through along with former Fed Chair Bernanke. Nothing really said that we haven't heard before. They're still saying inflation's too high. We're far away from the 2% target, and they'll continue to do what they need and use the tools that they have to blah, 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 get things back to where they should be. Crude oil, notably weak here on the afternoon as well, back to session lows. But we were dealing with all things tech this morning, guys. There really wasn't any significant headlines in regards to individual names outside of a few things regarding Samsung and whether they were going to flip over to Bing versus Google Chrome. They said they're not going to do that. So Google was up on that initially. Microsoft a little bit weak in the pre-market.
Yo, what's up, everybody? We back in the building right now. One more time. Yes, cheers to everybody. Is that a coffee or is that a tea?
It's actually coffee, believe it or not.
All right, well, welcome.
I'm over to the dark side.
Welcome to the wild side.
Look, it's one of these markets where you want a cup of coffee to keep the energy going. You don't force trades today. Obviously, you know, tech has had. It's been a mixed bag, but mostly it's been weak today. There's a few names in kernels of strength out there. One of them was for a little bit their Meta when they got that headline, Twitter competitor. Now it's right back to where it was. It played off VWAP, yada, yada, yada. I guess we're talking about Google first.
Wherever you want, man.
I saw. It doesn't look at the same thing. Like Google off the open, it looked like it was great. 123. It broke 120. It broke 125, and then it got up to 126. The reloads were meh, but really it's been a short ever since. So, you know, the early morning was fantastic for us. And then after that, if you weren't flipping to short on some of these big tech names, you can pretty much forget about it. Now, Meta, of course, decides
look at the
it wants
TQQs.
Yeah, now everything's rolling over. Of course, like, yeah, okay, here goes Meta. Meta's probably not going to hang on to 245 here, it doesn't look like. So it is what it is. Maybe we're going back into the sell side. We did put it to the bear. Had a couple of shorts on. One of them I've just been sitting in all afternoon. One of them's new. But yeah, big tech started out pretty hot. But we haven't really ended that way. Meta was the one. It was like it was breaking VWAP. It looked like it had a chance to go. It had a catalyst, and now it might be giving it up.
Yeah, we did well on Meta during that catalyst area, but yeah, not anymore as it's dropping back down. And we actually, during the midday show, we started trading the futures, and we did really well on it. We should still be in it, but I would have actually reloaded it right now. Meta breaks, and so we're gone. But we should have reloaded it right there. Instead, we got out. That was when that Meta news came out and start talking about a possible Twitter competitor or something. So we'll talk more about that as it goes. But there we go, right there. We did buy. I mean, in what has been a pretty sleepy afternoon. It feels like, anyways, this was a name that was starting to move around, so we'd make a little bit of money on the long. We take a piece out right there again. And then our final last try was at 21s, dropping back down through the 50 period, through the 200 period, and bouncing now, but I still think Meta is no longer tradable at these levels. We'll wait till it either gets back in here a little bit lower to 245, 244.50, or back to the high side. And tech leads, yeah, so the big short that we had on today was a great one, and that was AMD. Are we going to talk about chips? Yeah, so chips are coming through again, but there we go. Nice little short for AMD. Keeps on coming through here. As the market, we talked about the TQQs. One of my number one symbols today is going to be this. Just started shorting off these levels in VWAP. And it stayed, man, but unfortunately, I told you we punched out right away when I saw that Meta news, thinking that could have spiked the market. It did, but now you can see where we are right now. So tech leads the way. Oh, on that note, Brendo, let me just find this here. I actually just tweeted this out just minutes ago. We talked about this earlier. Now look, 13.8. Maybe I can zoom in a little bit here. So that's not working. Okay. But anyways, I don't know what's going on. But 13.8 now. It was 40 this morning. So quarter point looking more and more less likely, and more likely that we stay where we are. 86 that we stay come June 14th, and only 13% that we go up now. So whatever Fed Chair Powell said there sort of calmed that whole quarter point rate talk. So right now we're looking like it's going to be a good to go on a pause, and we still have, I guess it's three and a half weeks until that decision comes through.
We got some time.
All right, Microsoft back to VWAP. Yeah, this market, little sleepy right now. We're long Palantir, though.
Yeah, it's been unusually volatile, that Fed funds tool over the past couple of days with all these comments coming through. It's worth noting that same week, we also get CPI. So the past couple of Fed announcements have been preceded by a week or so, but it's the same week in June that we get CPI in the next inflation reading. So they'll have a lot to look at anyways before they make that. Yeah, it was Bloomberg that came out with that note on Instagram, preparing that Twitter competitor over lunchtime there. So that caused a nice move for Meta back to the upside, but nothing really as far as additional details. I mean, there was rumors of this kind of floating around a month or two back. That Microvision guy is still going. MVIS continues to pop up on a volume scanner. But anyways, there was rumors of this kind of floating around going back a couple of months ago. So I guess they've actually come up with something, according to Bloomberg. Anyways, Tesla was on watch this morning on this note. Serious about establishing an India production facility. That was according to the country's Deputy Minister of Technology in an interview this morning.
So first things first, to answer your question, Zion Lala, my stop on Meta was literally 95. So I elected to give it 5 extra cents beneath the even. It's just a distinction without a difference. So
Did it go back up after that?
Oh, probably. I don't know.
My stop was 97.
I usually give it like at least
got
5
stopped
pence.
out.
But I'm out now.
Oh, okay, okay. I thought it bounced.
No, it did. It bounced. It got to like 17, 18. I probably should have
okay.
taken something out I didn't. So I'm stopped out of it now.
Oh, it's 244.80. We did good.
Yeah, okay. So it is going down.
Yeah.
But, okay, MVIS actually making a bit of a move here. It's worth, look, I mean, anything that's going to make a real move and is showing you increased volume, the market's grinding slow to the downside, so I think the short is probably solid, but anything that's making these moves is going to be worth our attention today, at least a little bit. So MVIS, it is in the chop area where you're going to have obvious, like $4 here. It did a big turn. It was support for a little bit. Then when it broke down, it double topped at 4 even and then got cut in half. So when you get to 4, that's a bag holding level. It's going to have to show a lot of volume to clear out that level. You're already seeing it pull back in. The short's starting to pay up, only because we're not going to talk about this one, I guess. Uber had a bit of a flat bottom look here, but it has yet to get to that bottom. But it rejected that breakout from yesterday. I know we were long. And then once it was trending down, so I'm like, okay, this looks pretty weak. I'm playing the short into and past 39 into 38.80. If it doesn't break 38.80, it probably isn't going all that far. I guess we're supposed to be talking about Tesla. Tesla was the other stock that looked like it was going to be strong today, outside of just in the afternoon Meta just now. So Tesla had the 180 break. They did this nastiness at 182, and I got trailed out at 181 and a quarter. Bad reload at VWAP. Don't like that execution. We let it bounce. Played it long again into VWAP, then missed the reload. Tried the long off 180. This went 180 to 180 and a half. There was a big seller there, and now it's doing absolutely nothing. So I've been viewing Tesla as a long all day. It's not like it hasn't been fantastic. It's been good, but I've never really had the best. Like I like the direction. I haven't lost really, but I haven't had the good read. Right? Like I keep missing the better entries and end up taking like the B entries instead of the A's. Like the B entry, miss the A entry, and it probably needs to break out. You got to be above 180 again, otherwise we're going to go long off the bottoms. Sideways action for a lot of stocks. If it's still doing sideways, you don't want to be trading it.
No, and I just put on a new position right now, and that's going to be Microsoft. And I'm just trying to play off this 80 level right here for Softy. The market is still down below the 50 period, so we'll take that for a short. We did talk about it on the midday show that I liked a Tesla break of 180. I don't know if that's happened yet. Yeah, so it did happen, and it would have been, so when I was on, it was in here. So looks like we do get a nice little break there and only goes up 50, 60 cents and now right back to where we are again. So I really like, oh, by the way, there goes, I got to get a bid here. I mean, I don't, where are we on Microsoft? We're only right here. Okay, we'll put a bid low 40s, see if we get a fill. We're short right now at 57 on Softy, so it's nothing. I just saw the market pull down, thought it was going to go, but it's not. I like, if we're going to talk about Tesla, let's just talk about what it seems like it's doing here on the daily chart. I feel like I feel like it's coiling up. Like, you know, we made that move. We're trying to make a smiley face. That doesn't really get completed until 190. I feel like that's next week. I mean, it's 180 right now. You just gone up $10 in the last 2 days. You know, you can easily get to that 190. Then I think we rediscuss that. So I don't really want to be short this. I like the India talk. I think a brand new market, an educated market, financially, you know, well off. There's a lot of individuals there, obviously, in India that, you know, have a lot of money. So I like it. I like the play. I think Tesla wins here. New market, new spot, less dependencies on China, less dependencies on U.S. workers as well. And, you know, just into India. Let's see if that can spark it. We also have, keep talking about it though, the truck. We've got possible new models, and we've got the return of Elon Musk. So I don't know. To me, if there's a play anywhere, I think it's the long, and I don't really want to short it until we get back into this 220 area, which, if we talked about it, is right up there. I mean, that's an easy place to say short, but I just think that you really want to talk about it in the low to, you know, mid 200s, 210, 220 before it gets going. I think we get back there. I like Tesla. That 105, like, wow, that was in January. There's a lot of stocks that were down here in January. That was a double up, then a fade back, gave 50% retracement. I mean, almost exactly, it probably is exactly 50%. From 105 up to 220 back to 155. I mean, that's 50% right there. Retracement back to the upside and now holding the 50 period. I like Tesla for a long right now. Come on, softy. We're in the money 10 cents. Let's get a little lower, man. I'm not even trying to be greedy there. And there it is right there. We'll just go,
oh my God.
we found a winner. And it is a good one there for Mike. Not a good one. Hopefully it's a good one. But there goes Softy, just breaking the range a little bit, man. We got out of a quarter. We got out of 20% there. I don't know what to tell you.
It's
wish.
probably this kind of afternoon. So if you're not prepared to take those scalp trades,
Yeah, that's right.
then maybe don't. Like, it's the thing. The scalp trades are in there, and you take them. Otherwise, maybe you want to sit out. Because if you're holding for a ridiculous move and the futures aren't moving, well, all you're going to do is chop yourself around. You'll get stopped out. You'll have taken no profit. It doesn't work. So, you know, kind of learn that lesson. Matter of fact, I was waiting for a home run myself on Uber this entire time, and sort of taking a cue of what the market is giving me, I just popped a bid in front of the current low of the day and said, what am I even thinking about? Like, this 20 cents is good here. And if you can get that, I think that's pretty fantastic. Maybe we pop and then you can reload, but rinsing and repeating is going to be how I think this goes until something, like a shoe has to drop or something.
All right, let's go to Foot Locker here, guys. Wasn't much to do, unfortunately, after the initial move off of forecast cut. If you missed it this morning for FL ugly all day. Any bounce here was definitely shortable, it would appear, so far anyways, for FL, but bit of a choppy sideways kind of grind after the initial move.
So yeah, it dropped. It was at a pretty key level on the daily. I called like 30 sort of the Alamo this morning, and I decided not to, you know, unlike I think Butch Cassidy, Sundance Kid, I decided not to make a last stand myself. But here was 30. If you did take it off the open, I feel like that was a one and done trade. It failed to take down the level, immediately recovered, but it was so fast. It was right up to 32. That was your trade. So you're either shorting that pop or you're long off 30. And since then, it's been a short. I didn't grab it after yesterday's lesson. I decided not to be sort of sitting on violent bids and try and catch the move on the other side.
What lesson was that?
No, it was just, it worked for me. Like yesterday, I only decided to take, I'll wait for everything. I'll miss trades to catch only bounces or wait for it to make a top and then get on the other side. And it was pretty successful. So today, I elect not to be on the bid of Foot Locker as it came down. That would have been a win, but it is what it is. The cost of, there's no manner in which you limit risk that you aren't reducing upside. Right? Like, that's just a fact of life. It's not even a trading thing. That's just how, you know, it is what it is. If you're not on the bid, you're not going to get the fill. You end up chasing it if you do get it. So I decided to be a little bit risk averse by not having my bid out there. And, you know, the trade's done now. Unless there's a break of the bottom on Foot Locker, I suppose that would be a trade here. If it gets through what is now 29.88, I think you can look for that short. I just doubt it even happens.
Yeah, I only said that because that's exactly what happened to me, and I got destroyed yesterday on Alibaba. So I think that's good advice. Foot Locker, ouch. Yeah, ouch on that one for sure for Foot Locker and anybody that's holding that name. It's not been a easy trade today, as Neil just mentioned it. But I went over to Nike. We talked about this earlier on in the day, that this is going to be a problem for them. And now it's down 4%. It was down 2% earlier. Now it's down 4%. And I like to break through of this 115. But if you're going to be really specific and you draw this line, that's 115.50 or 115.80, right? The market just popped up a little bit there. I'm not seeing anything,
at least go down.
There's Nike. Anyways, hold on a second. I got to go back and talk about something else here, because here we go. Microsoft. We were just, and I was just like, yes, Microsoft. We just got a 30 fill right there before it pops back up. And like Obi said, pop, lock, and drop it. Is that what Obi was saying? That guy's a wild man, that Obi. But here we go.
Is he a breaker?
I don't know. I don't know what he was talking about, but something like that. But here we go. Microsoft just going back up to the upside there. No idea what that move's all about. But we're out if this breaks 85, man. Maybe the market is waking up just a little bit right now, and that's fine. There it is. Okay, that's fine. We got stopped. No, it's not. I mean, we don't like getting stopped out, but we just did get stopped out there. Small hit on that. Good thing we took these out, and you mentioned it before, Neil, like it's time to start scalping, and that's exactly what we just did. We just got a fill there at 69, out 89. That's a loss of 20 cents. Made more there, but actually net negative, because this move is now happening. What is going on right now? The market
Tesla's
is
really
starting to go.
Just when the short was looking like you could sit in it.
Tesla made a trademark patent for a cyber quad car, quad ATV. That was last week, though. Apparently that story I just saw, but that doesn't seem right.
Nah.
We're long Palantir. We'll wait. I mean, the good thing about it is we have Brendan right over
that
there.
That is
so
accelerating.
there isn't too much of a problem on my end. We're worried about what's going on, as Brendan will come with something if there is anything. But it's a nice move up, man. There goes Softy. Wow, really retracing. Or going back up, I guess retracing if you were short like I was. But there it is, nice move to the upside right here. Looking at 318 again for Microsoft. Don't know what that move was all about. I don't know if it was Softy specific. Yeah, Meta didn't move at all.
Didn't move at
shit,
all.
I'm in the wrong name again.
Amazon.
As Softy starts.
Amazon made it decent enough.
Yeah, I mean the market pumped. The market pumped. So
Tesla's making a move.
Regardless of what we think here, there's a move happening. So.
Oh, Apple looks nice. Oh, we actually not even done the rundown. Apple bounced off 175.
I might short AMD on this.
Yeah, double bottom on Apple. We're back through 4,200 on the ES. So, you know what? Apple's been one. I was in this malaise there for a tight stop, which I feel like you got to do. Like, there's no point. You can't fight these, right? Like, it looks like if it broke up, we'll probably see the high of the day, but you can't fight it on the way down on a day like today. So 175 on Apple looks like it'll be a worthy defense level. But I'm not chasing it. I heard Max and Obi say something pretty prescient or smart. Whatever. Smart.
So you try to get all fancy there.
I try to get fancy. I'll stop doing that. You have to have a really good price on a day like today. Like you can't, like a day like yesterday, you could have chased anything yesterday to the upside. If you're long, most of the time it didn't matter what your price was, as long as you found a reasonable way into the trend, you're okay. That's probably not going to fly this afternoon. You're really going to have to make sure you got a good price, and then you're willing to stop out relatively tight sometimes. So if I like this Apple in front of 175, I'm not chasing it. I'm going to allow it to play back in and really try to get something around that quarter, something reasonable. And as a matter of fact, just because after that move, there was a pop, I elected to take more out of Uber. I don't want to get trapped at the bottom in anything. I mean, it's very slowly working to the downside, so I'll let it work. But, I mean, it needs to accelerate at some point. So Apple 175 I like. I don't really see a heck of a lot. Nick Chauncey? Sorry. In my head, I keep seeing Chauncey because I was a really big Chauncey Billups fan. That's why. Former Raptor, by the way. AMD is looking like it wants to make a bounce off close enough to 185. It's not a huge move there. I feel like Apple made a decent move. You said Microsoft.
I mean,
Tesla, definitely.
Who's a better NBA point guard? Because I was trying to think about who's the best point guard that's ever played for the Raptors. So to me, there's only would be two of them. And I'm not going to include Damon Stoudemire. I don't think
Kyle Lowry.
That was the other name. Or Chauncey, though.
Oh, but their actual career, or while a Raptor, it's obviously Lowry?
No, not Chauncey Billups was 2 years, I think, or maybe at most.
For their career,
that's pretty close, right? Because look what Kyle's doing this year with Miami as well.
It is pretty close.
So I think,
but you could argue Chauncey was he. I always thought he was.
Won
I thought he was the best player on the Detroit team.
Right.
I know they had a lot of good players.
He didn't win in Detroit, though. Didn't he win in Portland, or where was he? He
No,
won in the West.
He was on that Detroit team. It was Chauncey,
Did they win the ring?
Rip Hamilton,
Okay, so
Ben
that's-
Wallace,
okay,
Rashid.
so-
Actually, Rashid was probably the best player on that
Oh,
team.
Palantir's going. Palantir's really going.
Oh, word?
Excuse me. We just got a fill up here at 85 for Palantir. We're long here. This was the max. We were with Max here and we got stopped out there. And then I was like, nah. Let's go back into the long. And so we make the long now. Palantir, nice positive name for us today. Oh, we're still on the thing. All right, we just talked about chips and everything. Let's go back over to Brendan. He can give us some updates here as Neil and I talk about basketball and all of our trades, regardless of the rundown. Okay, Brendo, let's discuss the chips quickly here.
Just seeing that 52-week high for Apple today as well, guys. Pretty impressive week, as we've been saying, for all of these. Here's NVIDIA, AMD, Micron this morning, all up still on this nonstop AI excitement. Japan in focus this week as well, specifically. Micron announcing earlier a monster investment, $3+ billion going into 3.7 there, going into a facility in Japan, along with some subsidies coming through. But wasn't much else in the way of news this morning for chips. This one not obviously a chip name, but I'm just noting, look at the daily chart on Microvision, guys, just straight up from $2 up to $4 now.
That's a big ass move.
I had no idea about
It's a
that.
good move. But
That's a big what move?
big ass move. Yeah, and you have to say it that way too. Like
You have to have like the little the
no, like
tone.
there is certain phrases that you say, like you put an extra bass in it.
Yep.
And if you don't, then
That's the word
why
bass.
even bother saying it? Just get a little
It's
extra
all
bass
about
up
that
in one.
bass. All right.
No treble though, no treble.
I
some
have to have a
treble in it.
little bit of treble,
Put some treble in it.
but it is all about that bass.
Get that snare. So let's talk chips. NVIDIA, while not doing a heck of a lot this afternoon, at one point this looked like it was going to be one of the reversal names. It was a short this morning. It failed at 315 several times. I didn't really have a 315 trade idea until this told us. Like, it closed at 17. You opened underneath, so it looked a little bit bearish to start. It then started failing pretty much exactly, like right at the open. It gets above 15 a couple times. This last wick up, there's the entry. I was out of it when it couldn't break past that 11. I tried reloading a couple of times in here. Tight stop, one reload, VWAP, and then it stopped out. This is where I almost flipped long, actually, and then didn't. I don't know why I didn't, but if I had, it's right back into the lows. And guess what the top was of that move? 315. So if I just stuck with the original notion instead of shorting the lower highs, 315 is the price. So if we get up there, I think I'm shorting over there on NVIDIA. So yeah, it's pretty much the only chip name that I'll be looking at. I do think. I didn't really. I was in. Let's go over Intel for a quick second, because I had an early good one on Intel, and then of course I decided to reshort back on the way up. Tried it here, reloaded, stopped out at the high of the day. Was able to get something back into VWAP. Then I actually tried a 30 dip that didn't work. And on a day like today, when you go sideways, you're not going to have much of a chance for those like above VWAP type plays, because you're just drawn back into VWAP when a stock's not doing anything. So I see nothing here for me on Intel unless we start breaking back out. If we get a lot of strength behind us, then I can see that long being valid again, especially given where this thing is on the daily. So it just bounced off the 50 period. You had that nice little hold at 28.50. You're back above the 200 period moving average, and you're really trying to break out at this 30 level. If you go back in here, maybe that looks better on the 15. You're trying to break back above that 30 level. So I do like the notion now of the long. Tesla.
What?
Tesla just popped in front of VWAP. So Tesla made that run, got up to 180.50 again. I'm like, okay, well, that's worked, holding VWAP into 180.50. But instead of going long at 180, I'll go long just under 180. Smart. Because sneaky, it's been breaking 180 like it doesn't matter and then holding beneath it. So I didn't wait long enough. I'm long at 90s here. And obviously, you got to take your outs in front of 180.5, because there's a seller up there that doesn't want to get broken.
All right, we just went short on AMD and was actually able to take a little bit of profit out here as we're short at the 50 period to the downside. It just touched 37 before stopping. We're here at 30s. We're actually at 29s right there waiting for that fill to the downside. So we'll see if it can come through, but there's AMD, and we've been shorted all day. It was an idea on the sticky note here at AMD short 108, and that was really the trade of the day for me right off the bat. And there it is right there. We averaged into it, man. We took it early, which again, 937 is okay for me. I feel like we were playing off some of these tops here of 106, 107. Once it finally broke back above 106.50, which was this high right there earlier, we got out. So we saw it go down. We're like, oh man, we missed this move down. Then we averaged it up and then took a hit. So that's like about a 50-cent hit right there. But again, not on very many shares. And then finally it comes up to levels that we liked. There's the 200 period. Here's the intraday high, or that was the pre-market high at that time. Now, I cannot believe we have the wick high of the day, 107.29 or whatever we have there. 107.29. That's the high of the day. So we have that tick, which is very lucky. And it was just very, very much and here it comes, man. AMD, we should be able to get this bid right now as it's making a move down. Anyways, we just like the short. I saw yesterday this level 108, so that's what we are playing off of. That was my best trade yesterday, and this is my best trade today. So AMD right back in again, and here we go, back down into the 30s. I don't think we got that fill. No, we did not. I'm just going to put a fill right now at 35. If we get it, we get it. There we go. Cancel my 29. Get to 35. Starting to ring a couple registers right now, man. It's 21, I'm about to say 26. That would, if I got 29s, it would have been 26. But right there, 21 cents in the money. We'll take it. We're out of half now on this quick scalp for AMD. But hey, man, the chips have led the move higher. And now, I don't think we're going down, but it wouldn't surprise me if they did also lead this move downside. Just because they've just been Neil. I mean, NVIDIA, Intel's been the one that's been put to sleep for a little while, obviously weird. Around that $30 mark.
Ooh, put to sleep.
That was a good one, right? But the 32 on that name, I think, is going to be good if we ever get back to that. So that's something to look out for here on AMD. But there's a move down. Sorry, on Intel. There's the move down. What was just squashed on the board was Palantir. I guess Brendan must have kiboshed that one. But we got a nice trade just right now because we've been talking about it, and there's really not much to say other than this is like a day 5 play or more than that. We had a great earnings report for Palantir. They came out and said that they're going to take no more negative quarters. They thought they could be cash flow positive, EBITDA positive. They were there last quarter, and they look like moving forward. And they can say that because of the government contracts, and those really rarely get canceled. So we like that talk. Nice talk there. And of course, you're breaking this 1030, and then once it loads up, there it is right here. The 1150 level breaking on Palantir, giving us some nice feels for the long there today. So that's what we're in right now. We've had some good ups and downs on Palantir today. It's giving me a little bit of a headache, to be quite honest with you, because we were in it. This is where we made all the money. All the money was made early. And this was taken way too early. It goes against everything I believe in. But then right there, we broke through 12. And when that happened, it was open up the damn gates because we went all the way up to 1250. So that was huge. We have a tick at 1240. So getting out some stuff on the way up, it does look ridiculous all the time, but once this happens, you feel a lot better about it, because if you just were to average all these prints, it's probably somewhere here, like 1228 or something, right? So lots of good opportunities there, and we'll just look to continue to capitalize on Palantir.
So very quickly, there's VWAP on Tesla. There was an initial bounce.
Oh, shit.
It got right back up to the 3/4, was able to get some out after we got a nice little bounce play off of VWAP, and then it breaks. Everything's going to be relatively tight stops in here. I just did two things. One, I'll get to Uber in a second, but that's a short, so it's probably safer. But Apple waited all the way for it to get back into 175, which is the low. Actually, 175.09, I think, is the actual low of the day there, just to be precise, but waited for it to get down there to take that into the bid. And then we're going to go over, was able to just add on the consolidation in Uber. So Uber, every time it pops, I took some out, it makes the rollover. This one does feel like the trend is pretty solid here, and when I see that, it's like, why am I not just shorting every single curl? I probably didn't need to take anything out there. We'll hold for the support level of 38.80. I don't think we see a crazy market. Like, if you don't expect it to have a ridiculous market move, then if something's trending in one way, you should just try to play the trend in that direction, is what I'm getting at. So yeah, Apple might hold 175, but it's slightly trending down. I want to find things that are trending in one way. Oh, and by the way, that MVIS, I knew I was forgetting something. There was something else I wanted to mention.
Oh, you were looking at W key.
It pulled back. MVIS didn't break that $4. So there's still a chance, but it pulled back and the volume's dwindling. It would be nice if something like this could break. Yeah, W key. That's one. Where are you, Wise? Oh, wait a minute. It's going again.
Yes.
Oh man, like, see.
I thought that's what you might have meant.
Shoot. No, I meant NBIS because NBIS would have been spicy off a $4 breakout, but it obviously is not happening. Wise Key's going. Maybe it wants 4, but this thing has failed 4 like a few times here today. Like it failed to get to 4 at the open, and then it failed to level pretty badly, dropping all the way back into $3 earlier. So I'd be a little bit cautious with this as a breakout play. If you're in this, congratulations! If you got it off the 3, like this is where you want to take these trades. See how it holds all the way back. It does the Huadong, doesn't halt, holds the previous sort of breakout price at 310. And then if you're long here at 325, you can legitimately be risking 15 cents in slippage or 25 cents in slippage. And then you're playing into this. You're getting out some at 50, you're getting some out at 75, you get some out in front of 4, and then you hold the last 20% for the moon or whatever. But if you take the 4 break, you're basically just hoping for a miracle at that point. Like, yeah, that's a really good risk to reward trade. I had given up on the stock, so don't give up on these sometimes. Like if you're a trader who trades these and these alone, then you're just patiently waiting for you to show signs of strength, which it does not really do until it gets all the way back to the next key level, holds it. I can see maybe you would have been, if you would have been long here, let's say you take this long at 45 and it stops you out, then you're taking a second shot in here. That's still a couple of paper cuts for 15 to 20 cents worth of risk, and it ends up paying off. But that's essentially what you'd be looking for on these types of plays. So Apple, I just got long off 175 even. It is a whopping 4 cents in the money.
I like it. Oh, man. We're doing something very similar, but with AMD. We just wound up taking a decent profit on it down to 19s, which gave us about exactly 40 cents worth of a profit there as it came in. We did pull our 20, I think it was at 29, but we got a 35. And then right there we get a 18 or 19 as it's coming back into the downside right now on AMD as this market is still below VWAP. I think we're still fine to be short this market. The one call there, anyways, Palantir, a couple outs here at 85. We would love to get 90, but I don't know, it's just coming back and forth. So we're getting lighter and lighter, obviously, as every time it pops up, we're getting some out. So that's Palantir there. And then the trade of the day for me, just because it's only been one in, has been Starbucks. And we talked about this name just kind of bleed the rest of the day on the way down on, again, not really anything happening on Starbucks. They didn't come out with a great report. The trend has been our friend here to the downside. So we actually took this pretty early. This is when we were kind of scrambling for some shorts ahead of 11 o'clock. We were both pretty bearish going into whatever that event was, that speak there from Powell and Bernanke and everything. So now we'll wait to see about a downside push. And right now, Starbucks is at the low of the day. So I'm just going to hold this in case we do puke. We are holding half of our AMD as well for a move down. So even though we're 40 cents in the money on AMD, we are now 80 cents in the money on Starbucks. And I just want to see about a break. This could be another trade, a breakdown through 105.35, this bottom. That could be another trade there on Starbucks. But if you're just going to look, this is what it's been doing on the daily. Here's the bad report coming through, and then now you're just kind of hovering around. So ultimately, I think this 108 is a good short. I'm not in Starbucks anymore. This was a name that we did like. We talked about this at the beginning of the year. Nice move up, and then there's the earnings report. It's very dangerous to be in names with earnings reports these days, I feel like. Like, who could have predicted that Foot Locker? I mean, honestly, Foot Locker was performing okay. It was kind of barcoding, but I didn't see a 30% or 25% move off open down, and then
5 maybe.
Then
10.
Alibaba rugged everybody a little bit. That was sort of going really well, and then that came all the way to the downside. Bless you, in the back there, and then so. We'll have to watch for Starbucks, but I just, play the momentum on the 5-minute. It's definitely to the downside here. This is a 20-minute. I mean, it looks pretty good, right? So let's just hold it and see if we can break that, as my eyes are just on AMD. I mean, that's really the only trade that we have right now, is that AMD short. And we're looking for more. Meta, look at Meta. That's returning to its collapse.
Yeah,
that was a weird story there. Like, I know Brendan's busy working, but that was weird. Like, since when I thought it was like something about a Twitter competitor for summer release. Like, that's what Meta's Instagram is preparing for. A Twitter competitor for summer release. So I'm guessing something to do with stories or something. I
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, Elon's not going to like that for sure, but nothing he can do about it. But I just don't know about that
True
story.
that.
I don't know about that story. So.
Nothing you can do about it.
No, doesn't.
But
look
yeah,
good.
we'll see. Maybe we'll get clarification on like more will probably come out.
I
next
thought that
week.
would have been a good thing.
Well, I mean, I would think
Market
so.
spiked.
Yeah, I mean, they're looking for additional like
Look where we are,
sources
man.
of revenue.
Right back at
It makes a lot of sense that you would do it because he's like when you think about what Twitter turning into X, right? Like, what would that be taking aim at? Okay, you're taking aim at multiple Meta suites at that particular moment. You're taking aim at Amazon. Like, you know what I mean? It makes a lot of sense that they'd clap back a little bit. Finally, so a little bit of a move to the upside. It's only 10 cents. That's just a bad wick. But here comes Apple. Hopefully, get this into VWAP, and then we can stair step up and go like rinse and repeat to the upside. However, I'm not sure how we missed this. Shout out in the chat for noticing. I didn't realize that Carvana had this type of a move today. That it had a false break at 12 and sank all the way to $10 before it made the bounce. Now here's the other thing. It's not like it just bounced anywhere. Okay, first look at the daily chart. So do you guys remember when C3AI started breaking out and then that $20 level emerged and then it went to like 35 or something? Well, look at the level now on Carvana at $10. So it makes that break, doubles up, pulls back, and then we have a hard line at 10 even. So the buyers have been lining up no matter how. Look at the flat bottom break, and then it just catches a redonkulous bid here in front of $10. So, alert to $10 next week. I won't be here. So I want to see if it bounces off 10, you're going to be able to have this trade, and you have a stop at an obvious level. That's not that bad. I don't know if it continues this move, but any kind of consolidation can give you an entry point. There's a lot to still go, and you got the short interest working for you as well. For now, I'm just long Apple, but anyone that spotted this one at 10, that's pretty sweet. And that's the kind of thing that you're looking for. You get really patient as it's going down. There's not even a green candle from the flat bottom break on my 15-minute until it makes this bounce. And the good thing about that is, even if you're long in the second, like the confirmation here at 1050, that's still okay. You're probably not giving it all the way back to the bottom, although you could, I suppose. But even if you're somewhere in here on that long at 1050 and you have a 10-cent stop, it's still working out for you. I don't know about the continuation there. There was a downgrade from Jefferies. They also announced an extension of private exchange offers, withdrawal deadline and early exchange premium. That's, I guess, positive. I'm just reading what Brendan told me. I don't actually know that off the top of my head in case you can't figure that one out.
Carvana.
Carvana.
AMC not moving. DraftKings. Double checking draft.
What about Roblox these days?
Yeah, not really doing too much, man. I mean, I wish there was something more to do right now. Is there any names? Let's throw it out to everybody out there. Is there any names you guys want to do? Tesla.
Could add some bourbon to this coffee. That would work.
I told people to send us beer, but I don't think that went over that well. Well, I mean,
I'm drinking wine all week.
Don't have any beer here.
I was telling Greg
right now.
65% of my caloric intake next week is going to be wine, cheese, and croissants, and some baguettes.
But it's the same thing I told you, though. Like, Ontario has just as good wine as France.
I know, but you know how it is, though. Like, I don't.
It's and then
I don't have the chance to do it.
That's the point. Is that now you have an opportunity?
It's just my wife and I. We're not taking my daughter.
Yeah.
So
and what I mean by that is that our LCBO, you can pretty much get any bottle you want. Any bottle you probably get in France.
They also jack the prices, the LCBO.
Yeah, but price.
We pay a lot more for booze here in Canada. It's
yeah, I think they all. Yeah, everybody.
Everybody that comes here.
I mean, you get a bottle of wine for $15, $10, but yeah, the more expensive ones, yeah, you're gonna. Well, whatever. Wine is wine. So
Steve G, why are you always making? It's like berets are very popular there. I hear.
Yeah.
He keeps saying that I should wear a beret. I mean, I don't think so.
I mean, I've been to Paris. Paris is beautiful. You're going to have a great time regardless. You do not need to wear anything.
I'm not wearing a beret.
The only problem with you going now, I think, is have you guys looked at all those protesters? Are they still going? I don't know if they are.
I'm trying not to think about it.
Yeah, okay. I didn't know if that was still
I don't know, and I hope not, but I'm going anyway. So.
Yeah. That's
not much I can do about
it.
it.
Trip is planned. A trip is planned, so that should be fun.
I'll just elbow some protesters.
Oh, if anybody's in, is anybody from Paris in the chat right now? They can tell us. Okay, Adam is still saying that they're still going on. That's okay. Just avoid them. That's all. Other than that, my advice was just to have some nice coffee, sit on a patio, and enjoy because that's what it's all about. And the place where you're staying, just across the street, there's a great little patio. So that's all you need to know. And get the chocolate croissant from them as well. That is really tasty.
Actually, that's the first thing I'm doing when we get there.
Yep.
The first thing I'm doing is getting that chocolate croissant. I'm not playing around.
Yep. You're going to do good, man. And we when I was there with the wife, well, there's some crazy, if you go to my Instagram, you'll see some crazy pictures. I was sitting there under the Eiffel Tower with bottle of wine to my head. That was a lot of fun, and you're going to have a lot of fun there, so don't worry about that. And then Max will be taking over for you, so we're in good hands next week, so that's great. All right, so Tesla was some of the talk there. People saying Tesla tanking, I mean...
Is it, though?
No, it is going down, and if this is a tank, then this is a tank. But it doesn't seem like it's going into the tank right now. But there it is. It did bounce off VWAP, so I think there's a trade there if you did want it. To me, it's 243, and I do wish there was a lot to do here, but I'm not seeing a whole heck of a lot. So that's a good little move there for Tesla for sure. Looking at a 5-minute just to expand our ranges a little bit. Yeah, I mean, this is the thing. Like, you want to short Tesla at the middle, in the middle, at the middle? I don't know. Shout out to Kyle Dubas. I don't think he was the problem, and the Leafs got rid of him.
I don't think so.
But his press conference the other day wasn't great. I feel he was talking about his family life and that he might step away from hockey for a bit. So shout out to Kyle Dubas. I think it was the youngest GM in the NHL, and now he's gone, and he'll find a job very, very quick if that's what he wants. But you're not going to find a better GM spot than in Toronto, apparently.
Well,
we spend the most money. We have the best nutrition and all the best for all the athletes and our management as well. So shout out to Kyle Dubas. We wish you best of luck moving forward. And we got through one round there. PSG. No, I don't think you're going to any PSG games.
No, actually, we're not. The one thing, if I could do it over again, so we booked, and when we booked, it had a little something to do with the fact that Memorial Day is on the Monday, so I'll be jet lagged on Monday, and then I don't have to come in and trade, obviously, because we have a day off. So that's the reason we booked this week. But my wife and I, we met we're both on the track and field team at university, and we're both huge track and field fans. And I just realized the Diamond League is in Paris 2 weeks after we're there. If I could do it over again, the only sport I would have seen would have been to go see a Diamond League event. It's on my bucket list. Like, once my daughters graduate, I'm going to Europe, and I'm doing the Diamond League during the summer. Like, just taking every single stop. I want to get up to Oregon and check it out. I love track and field. I know most people, whatever. I think it's fun to watch. But yeah, that's one thing I would do. I wouldn't necessarily go watch a match. My wife would. Like, I would. There's a 0% chance. Like, she's not even remotely interested in, like, the World Cup. She's into baseball. She's not really a basketball fan. So
make sure you go see Mona Lisa.
That's one thing. But if you go to the Louvre, that's like a week. That's a week on its own because it's huge. We love art.
An afternoon, bro.
I don't know. We went to Philly to see the art gallery, and we maybe in a full day got through half of it. Like, when we did it.
If you went to the one in Philly, then you have to go to the Louvre. Come on.
No, we're gonna go. We're gonna go. I don't
yeah.
expect to be able to actually really appreciate it all because it's so big.
You will. Trust me. It'll be fine. Just make sure you go. That's all. Okay. And there's so many good ones. It's all slipped my mind. Rodin is there as well. There's so many. The Thinking Man. There's so many great things, and we had such a great time in Paris.
Steve G's in Oregon,
and so will you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's a couple people in Oregon. Yeah.
Oh, okay, Steve. I'm telling you, that is not waiting for retirement. Like, I'm going to see the Diamond League probably in the next few years. There's a buddy of mine who lives out west and wants to go with me. So that's happening because Oregon, they love their track down there. We'll see. I mean, thank you guys very much there. Summer History, thank you for the super chat. Do you think there's a chance Tesla hits 200 by next Friday? You want to know by a Friday?
I mean,
look, it's a non-zero chance. You're actually, so I'll give you the bull case. You actually literally pointed this out when we were talking about the rundown. So it just took the 50 period here, and a continuation of that trend doesn't just take you to 200, it's actually to 210, 215. So we saw Amazon do this, we saw Meta do this, we saw Google do this. I can probably list a few other names out there. They made their break. Come to my chart for a second. They made their breakout after a little bit of a dip and consolidation, and then they screamed for a few days into the next resistance level. That's what the market was doing this week. Obviously, today's been a buck of that trend, so it's possible. But if you see what happened, so there's Amazon, very similar move. Alphabet. Well, I don't know what happened to some of the data on my chart, but try to imagine that this, I'm sure it'll fill in, but made its break and then just kept going, went right to resistance at 123. So entirely possible that it could do it. Whether or not it actually happens, I think NVIDIA earnings are going to be very, very important in terms of the continuation of this move.
Yo, what's up, Lone? Yeah, Lone talking in the chat there about us, and you know, you don't have to sit here and he's defending us. You don't have to sit here and trade all the time. But hey, if you're looking for a trade, I mean, here's 50 cents for AMD, so you know, bring some energy back right now into that trade. So there it is right now. If you want to take this, you can take this. I might. I'm actually going to put a bid right now at 16. See if we're going to have to get run over to get it. I should have used a cheaper ECN there, but hopefully this will come back down in and we'll get that fill as it's just touching the bottom again. So there's a trade for you. But yeah, it is tough. It is tough to find trades when the market is doing this. Palantir, like, look, drip, 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 drip. Like, this is why we're out. Like, we only have a third, not even a third, 20% left of Palantir. Look at all these outs to the upside. It got to view up, and this is where we got the majority of them out. I mean, we got a lot out here too, 78, 79s. But here's the move back down to the downside. 1160, 1168, 1170. So we're going to wait to see if there's anything there with that. But yeah, so far so good, man, for today. It's been a good day, that's for sure. And yeah, let's just not throw, like we keep saying this, right? You don't want to throw good money or whatever after bad and so on and so forth. So let's just make sure that we make the right trades and we're comfortable with the trades that we have on board. That's the key.
Oh, Steve G. He's like, who will I tease when you're gone? You can still tease me. No, it's fine. You don't have to, but like just make sure you tune every single day because the market doesn't sleep for anybody. And this is one of those days where you got to pick your spots. I was going to talk about. I just got Uber in and out for like literally get bounced within that same range. But Apple's making a bit of a curl, so that's a little more important. It's trying to catch this little bit here. It dips down. Try to take it on the other end, rinse and repeat. It gave a decent bounce last time. We're still playing off 175 even, and then the same thing sort of happening there in Uber. So we got a bit of a reload. It just hit like 90s, 39.05, back underneath into the 90s. Still want the low of the day there, and I'm still in this, which I think I mentioned it. I might go back into scalping this because, like, if you talk about range trading, I was just looking at Uber. This is also giving you a pretty decent range here on a firm. 1395 down into 1380. What it looks like this way, there you go. It's been doing this pretty much all day. So that makes a lot of sense to me. So you're looking short like 90 to 90, 91, maybe even like 89s, and then give it to that 95, and then you're out in the 80s. It's definitely got support, to be sure, down here at 75. So I like rinse and repeat there. Tesla, I didn't really see a trade in Tesla. Meta, however, might have something. Tesla, if it trends down, maybe the 177. That's a long ways away. Meta, on the other hand, has been, look at 244 on Meta. Starting to get going again. Nice little barcode. Well, Apple, this is probably a little better than Apple, but I'm in Apple. That's the one I'm in. But 244 looks pretty darn good, but I'm not chasing any moves here today. Your price matters, and to me, that's just chasing it, and you're asking for it if you chase just about anything. And most things are not trending to the upside or even going crazy into the downside. Like, you're having to pick your spots, and the spot is not going to chase the move up 40 cents. Wait for it to pull back into 244. That way you're risking 10 cents instead of risking 40.
I like that short in Apple if we can get up to 175.70 where VWAP is, but until then, I would say back away from that trade and see what happens to all your other trades. We'll wait to see here what's going on with the market, of course, but the market's bouncing around and not doing a whole heck of a lot now. So just be wary of that, and don't overstep like what you're trying to do. It doesn't have to be rocket science every single day. I want to give a big thank you so much to Icky22MB. Sean is the best live scalper on the net. I really appreciate that. So shout out to you. And yeah, we'll try. And if you just watch every single day, you'll see, man, there's mistakes made, but overly, positive, profitable, and that's what we're trying to do here every single day on the show. So thank you for that, and thank you for watching. That's the most important thing. She's not here today, but make sure you do this.
Hola, like and subscribe today.
Yeah, make sure you get that like and subscribe. And okay, so maybe now Google's moving that W key. I don't really trade that, but
it's at that 4 again.
Yeah, that's a pretty key level there. Let's look at W key.
It's holding. It just held 4 for like 5 minutes here, so it might make that break, but the volume's starting to taper off. I think the consolidation longs are much better. Like, let it pull back and maybe make another consolidation top. I don't like the break because the break's already failed twice, and the high of the day is sitting at like 420. So I'm not taking the break, but if it does a consolidation in here where you can be long into it, like a 385 or something, that might end up settling in on its own.
Yo, what's up, Edgar? Why did I buy Palantir above 12? Okay, let's look. Why? Because I made a shit ton of money. I mean, that's why I did it. Come on, Edgar. Come on, Edgar. No, but I don't really understand your question, but I'll talk about what I did here anyways. And I mean, it was just like, we wanted Palantir. I mean, look at this trend. Yesterday, we were long off the open right down here at 1060. And I mean, look how good that trade was, right? That was about $1.20 to the upside. So Palantir really got going. We talked about it on the 5 period, the 20, every chart you want to look at, Palantir's been running lately. So today, again, it dips down right into pre-market. So we bought some there at 90. And then when it broke the day's high, we just went long through $12. And there's the out, blah, 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 blah. If you're talking about all this in here, look, man, I mean, we've made money. There's nothing wrong. Like this might have been a problem here at 90 on this VWAP break, but then we averaged it in, got it out before losing. This was probably a red trade. This was not. This was a good one. We got that dip down there at 75 and then out here 86, 88, 89. I mean, I could zoom in more. It doesn't really matter. And then here out, for sure, you guys saw me take this trade with Max. Well, we took all these trades. That was a good one. We were really happy. Then it came down. Max got out at 70. I got out at 65 break. Then we bought more against this bottom, which turned out to be perfect. And that's what we have on board right now. So I don't mean to say it, rhetorically or anything to you, but I don't really understand why that question, but thank you for asking it regardless. And there it is right there, Palantir. Now we get out. I mean, my stop on this trade was going to be a break of 60. So we could probably average back into this. But it's just Palantir's not today. Today's not Palantir's day. So I think we've done really well to get in and out of it. I'll probably take another shot because if our out's going to be right here, we might as well take a few more shares right now. But this is just like, honestly, we'll just take this with a very, very small bit of shares. I mean, look at the action on the level 2. It's kind of like watching paint dry here. So we're just going to be patient as we can be with Palantir. If something comes in, it comes in. And if not, we'll just take this to the up. We're long 64s, so we're still okay on this trade. But our outs were 85s, 86s. That's 20 cents. I mean, it's not horrible. My eyes are still on this Starbucks. That's bouncing off the bottom, so that could be a trade there. And then AMD, there's that bottom. Here's the top. We can actually get back into this right now. But I just don't.
Look, you know what's hilarious?
There's nothing happening.
So look at the range, right? Like AMD to the top, to the bottom, and back. It's like it doesn't matter what direction you played. If you were long at that bottom off 105, or if you're short off that top, you're going to get it. Everything is doing basically the same thing right now. Apple just made the same move. And I didn't even hold Apple past. It just, maybe Apple goes to VWAP, but it doesn't matter. Like the bottom end of this range was 175 even, so that's the only place that you're looking for the long, and then it comes into VWAP and I'm already out of it. It goes halfway, it goes the whole way, just take it. I'm not giving anything too far past big resistance zone. Like, you can always look at the higher time frame and say, well, what's the trend? It's slightly to the downside. This is one of those days where, yeah, a lot of times when you look at it this way, when you zoom out, it's like, yeah, shorting the high end of the zone probably makes a little more sense. It's effectively ending up the same thing today. And maybe it's just one of those types of afternoons. That said, how many times do I have to hit NY on Uber? That's weird. Okay, that's why. That's a New York stock. There we go. But Uber broke the channel. That's a different story. This was trending down. It's now broken the channel back out. I didn't reverse. I just got out of it. So it looks like that's headed to the upside. I'm only in a firm that we've been hanging on to for a while. Looking up, maybe we are continuing on Apple here. I mean, the NASDAQ doesn't look all that great. When you pull up a 60-minute chart, it doesn't give you the feels. The ES holding the 4,200, but it's still whipsaw action. Like, there's really, even just bouncing there, like, nothing's convincing me that you're actually making a strong move to the upside. It's like, hey, let's flip long. No, I think you're finding things that you can short the pop on still. And long bottom, short pop still feels like the way to go.
Yep, and we kind of say this, but you got to trade what the market gives you right now. All right, what's up, Ian Rispetto there? He wants to talk about Pan W. I think that's a great name. I love Pan W. It's a name that I'm in as well. So, of course, Palo Alto in the cybersecurity space. I like it. Best opinion and info based on what's available. So you're long on it. Okay, me too. I mean, I'm not getting out. I'm not taking any plays out ahead of earnings or anything like that. I don't have any expectation for it. It's been getting hit, I believe. Let me just double check this. Someone asked this to you last week. Someone. No, it's not. It's just bouncing off 200.
It's just bouncing. It's not.
Yeah, it's just bouncing off 200. Yeah. So that was the call, right? I mean. Oh yeah, there's the split. Okay, so you know what? I'm not going to use this daily chart because that's ridiculous.
Use the trader.
So here we go. So this is the daily chart on PanW. I mean, what is cybersecurity has been a great little play, obviously, as this world continues to have issues, you know, and get more into AI. There's going to be more talk about cybersecurity. I mean, the more offices and whatnot that are enabling these chatbots and all that kind of stuff for me. And again, I own PanW, so you know, maybe talk to a bear if you want to get another opinion. But I just feel like it's best of breed, and I steal that from Jim Cramer. I think if you're going to be in any solid names like this, it's why you want to be in NVIDIA. It's why you want to be in PanW, Apple for the phone. And then Google and AWS and all that kind of stuff, right? So I think it's best of breed. I like it. The 50 periods right here. Now, whether or not they report a miss or anything like that, that's like, I don't know what they're going to report. But any dips, I want to be buying this name. I like Palo Alto. The 200 period is right here at 171. But this is what I was getting at. We're right at the 50 period, so it is decision time. What day? It says next week. So let me just see what day that is here for PanW as we go. Post May 23rd. So it's early next week. You're going to get post on that. Where's the PE here? Like that? What? That's not right. 25,000, 2,500 PE for PanW. But regardless, it's elevated. They have a high PE. That's always been the case.
The forward's 40.
40. Okay,
right.
So it's always been pretty high.
Yeah.
But again, best of breed. I like it, and I don't think you can go wrong. I think if you are wrong on this name, maybe 175 could be a decision spot for you.
It's like a swing, though. If you're buying that, you want to own it for a while. Like a long time. It's a long-term play. I don't know.
I just look at it, and exactly what we just said there, man. I mean, this world is changing, and I think you're going to be okay with PanW.
Yeah, you got to think about like what Sean was saying with AI. Like a lot of companies are going to be having their employees want to access AI to create efficiencies. They have all this data which is proprietary, which they need to protect, and everyone's going to want to be using it. Like my dad told me if he was work from home as well. My pops was telling me if he was working right now and ChatGPT came out, he'd be doing everything he can to try and integrate it, but he had a customer data that they have to protect, and that would mean they probably have to beef up internal cybersecurity to allow all of their users to be able to fully utilize AI. So I think they're winners. Maybe they are a little bit overpriced, but that just means you dollar cost average into things for the long term, quite frankly, that's a name that if it were to break down, I bought it once, I have nearly nothing in it, and that was recently, that last little dip. But I wouldn't be doing anything crazy with it. Someone asked about Palantir, my thoughts. I don't really have a ton to add. I was going to talk about this chart, but let's go to Brennan for happening now, and then maybe we'll come back to Palantir.
Hey guys, 3 o'clock, 1 hour to go here on a Friday afternoon with the chop continuing. I'll show you the markets in a second. You'll get what I mean. It was more about this headline than it was really about what Fed Chair Powell said during lunchtime today. We got some comments suggesting that the debt ceiling talks had stalled, and that kind of kicked off the selling. I wanted to show you this chart as well, kind of interesting. Fed funds rate in black here. The yellow is core PCE, so we're kind of equal to both of those, but core consumption, or core consumer prices, with food and energy still the highest one there, that blue line, but you can see the Fed funds rate still climbing. Inflation, however, not so much. The dotted line down there, obviously where they want it to be. That is how things are shaping up with 60 minutes left here on a Friday afternoon. 0.35, 0.47, 0.18, all in the red for U.S. markets. We were discussing Microsoft a little bit this morning in the pre-market. Not much to do. A little bit of a ping pong match right now between 316.5, 317.5. Tesla as well. Tried to go this morning, but ends up just grinding into a range, guys.
Grinding.
Ping
pong. Keeping alive. But, Palantir, that's what I was going to say. My thoughts on Palantir, I like the quarter. Obviously, the market likes it as well, and you're getting it's a very extensive move to the upside. I think you want to respect it, especially given the breadth of the move and the fact that it was already in a pretty good spot going into it. Already had a higher low, double bottom got put in there. You're above all the major moving averages. So I think it might be due for pullback. I don't know if that's going to be true because look at how well it's holding. It rejected a top break today after there's a huge gap to be filled potentially, and then it holds the low. The afternoon support was at 65. It held that bottom, and it's still holding this bottom. I suppose you could be wary of like the 1050 breaks. There could be a pullback, but I think that could just be an opportunity to look at that 10 level after this calms down a couple of days. Otherwise, if it holds the top end at 1150 by like Tuesday or Wednesday, then it could explode again. It just might need a consolidation period because there really hasn't. Like there was a consolidation period and then it went again. So maybe it just needs a couple of days of consolidation up here before it makes the next move. But a very bullish sign. If it doesn't break 1150 and you're sitting there on like Tuesday or Wednesday, then I'd be only thinking long at that point. Until then, you could see maybe a little scalp reversal on it if it were to break 1150. But the long has not been wrong at any point just yet. Oh man, I should have just reversed Apple. It gets silly. It's like, okay, get out. Everything is just get long at the bottom, reverse at the top at this point. Instead, I'm just going to be waiting another 40 cents for it to come right back, or 25 pennies for it to get back down into the low 175s and try and get the long one when you could just be going back and forth. Instead, I'm looking only buy off the support. It is what it is. That's all we see. Wise key broke 4, but it did that thing. So it quadrupled, although it's still above 4. So it kind of went up, down. Has not broken the actual high of the day, which is here. That's 417. That's a pretty good recovery, though. For it to break higher, kind of reject the level, but not yet quadrunk, not too bad. If it holds up a little bit longer and can reclaim the high, maybe it's going to be a 420 break instead. I'd hit a key for that phrase that I just used, but I don't actually
I just have this. I don't have. We used to have a 420 thing.
How do I not have that?
I don't know.
I had a couple for that, but they're no longer on my board.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a sign.
Yeah. I think that's just a psychological level there, man. We had this discussion with Max. He's like, how come every stock goes to 420? It's like you're only talking about it when it goes to 420.
You notice that's the thing.
It also goes to 440 or 410. Yeah. So if we manage to have a different thing there, then you would have a different idea about that. All right, so...
Or is it?
Or is it? Or does every stock just magically go to that level and it is either support or resistance? But I don't think so. I think a lot of potheads don't really care about whatever the price is of certain amount of stocks at certain points in their day, for sure. Okay, so right now we'll just go, oh my God.
Oh my God.
Because I like that one, and then here comes right back down to the downside. So we're going to take a little bit more out here of AMD, and we scalped it to the top range there. So we actually were able to, the purples are shorts, and here we go. Yes, sir. Okay. Yes, we're doing it again right now. Let's get something out at 62 if we can, and let's just punch them out at 63 just in case. But there it is, man. Nice move downside here for AMD. We wound up getting way too many shares, so I had to get something out for flat up there. But then here's, yes, sir. We're going to be at the highest spot we were at all day here. Come on, AMD, let's go. We're doing exactly as me and Neil, man. Like, this is exactly what we talked about. Wait for names to get to certain levels and then trade them off those levels. And that's exactly what we're doing here with AMD as it comes up. And I'll show you that level exactly. Takes VWAP, comes right back into here, 80s and 90s, downside push there. That's why I'm hitting keys right now. Someone said that, we're scalpers here, right? So once it gets into the money and we're able to take some, especially if the market was doing something right now, then maybe I could be like, hey, it's time to get to the downside, but you're just right back to the 50 period. If we were breaking, maybe it's worth a hold. What do you guys think here into the close? Like, are we really going to make new lows here or what? Because I feel like Frank Caberna, like he goes on his little rant. He gives like really great stats, everything, and he goes, so what do you think, Brendan? And it's just like, what? Like, okay. So I think the market could possibly just sort of hang out the rest of the day.
I would agree with that. Hang out meaning not break the high.
Yeah, like just kind of like make some highs, like in certain names, like not highs, but hit levels, then come back in and sort of just do, kind of like a dance. right here into the,
I tend to agree.
like there goes AMD just for argument's sake. Like I was just hitting keys down here, 59s, like we have some 61 fills, 62, 58s. I was doing this as I was talking, and of course you guys know that's what's going on. But yeah, so let's just see what happens now. Hopefully a pullback is imminent in the market, but wouldn't surprise me if we just kind of hang out, and this is what we're talking about: move up, move down, move up, right back to the 50 period. So that's kind of why I'm on the 50 period. I use it for momentum changers, so we'll just sit here and watch it. Hopefully we're able to get some more trades, and I'm just going to get out. If AMD just keeps on doing this, we're short at 75. I'm going to put another bid at 62, and then maybe we'll get some fills down lower. Palantir's doing there it is. So shout out to Edgar and everybody that wanted to trade. How about that? Right now, a nice little move to the downside. Hooday! As we go down. And yeah, we're near the highest spot we've been at all day. We just need Palantir to run a bit.
Yeah, I just answered a question in the chat. And anytime someone just said, how can ICPT be halted for more than one day or since yesterday? You can always go to NASDAQ Trader, put a link in there. It's just a news-based halt. And when it's news-based, the news has to come out. A lot of times, like obviously, you can see the stock got rugged 2 days ago and then had a bit of a reaction, halting yesterday, and it's still, the news might not be disseminated on it. So just go to this page here, find the symbol. This is T1. That means trading halting pending the release of material news. If you happen to be caught in these, it is a bit frustrating, but usually you'll be able to find it. Once it's out, the news is public, you'll be able to see this page. It'll tell you when it's going to resume. And then from that point on, it tends to trade normally. I don't know the story with ICPT, quite frankly, but who knows. And I guess we missed a little bit of a story there on Adidas. But by the way, at WiseKey, it's continuing to hold beneath $4. It's still set up for that breakout, but it's looking a little bit less likely. So I was looking for that top break on WiseKey. It was one of the only things that looked like it had that chance to go. And unfortunately, it's going the other way. So for right now, I do not have my order in anymore because it's doing the Huadunk and would have to go 20% to the upside to break the top. So it's doing the other thing. That's why you wait for it to actually break the level.
Sure. What's up, Darwin? Put some bangs there in the chat. What's up, Lone, with some bangs in there as well? What's up to Neil Weston? What's up to Fantasy Fun?
Gold.
Anybody that put something is going to get it. What's up to JP Gerard? What's up to everybody? What's up to Youth? Everybody that's in there. Here we go, man. It's a nice little move to the downside right now. And we just took a 50 fill. Look, man, I mean, I don't know. We're just going to sit here and start to scalp. It does look like Palantir wants to do the other dance as well, possibly coming down to the downside here for Palantir. So this trade, I mean, people are looking for some trades. This trade may be done on Palantir. So, we talked about it, no volume, or not volume like yesterday or any days here on PLTR. So we're just going to have to watch out for that as it's going to make that break. We're going to get out if it breaks. I believe the order I have is 58. So a break through 60, and we're going to get out of that one. And then there's the talk of the day right now, and that is just to make sure that you get out of names when they start to fade out again. So there's AMD, a bunch of outs, right back to the upside. I may be done, honestly, just scalping this market now. What's up to JP Gerard as well on there? You want to bang too? Jam low-key? Low-C. There it is right there. Vertigo. Don't have any vertigo right now, but never have. But
that is no fun.
That's what I was gonna say. Hopefully nobody has that experience. That's bad. Right there, bang worthy. Sure you are, Steve G. Right there. Okay. Anyways, we're just having fun here on a Friday. So that's all. Yeah, some good trades to close the day. Hopefully we can make a little bit more for you. I'm debating right now getting out of Starbucks. I don't know. Here's the market shooting up a little bit. Let's punch some more out. We'll punch a 66. Well, we got a 65. They're out on, not Starbucks, on AMD. Just taking a dime piece. Hopefully it comes back in and we're able to do something better for you on that trade. But so far, so good there. And then after that, man, not much else going on for me. What else do you want to do? What's up with Top? Oh, yeah. Well, I don't know. Maybe Brendan. I know he's over there working, but there was a story.
A couple of things. So
you remember?
It was a bit of a curl on Meta. So Meta got back into 244. I took the quarters. It ended up turning there. It didn't actually get down to 244 even. But the story on Top and the reason it was halted had to do with it being removed in Hong Kong. Like it was,
right.
Yeah, it was being removed in Hong Kong. And then for whatever reason, I suppose it opened up here despite that, and it wasn't supposed to open. So I have to check it, and I'm sure Brendan will find it for us. But I feel like it was, I don't want to misremember the day. I feel like it was the 25th that it was scheduled to resume trading on the 25th, if I remember correctly.
Yes,
But
yes.
I'm sure Brennan can confirm that. But yeah, so it had closed on 1 and
That's
was
the right
basically
day. That's
yeah,
the
the
right
25th. Because one of our viewers was telling us that. I want to
Adidas is going to I just noticed this in our chat.
Yeezy.
Thanks, Brendan. Yeah. The Yeezys are back. Oh, wow. Shout out to
I didn't think
Playmaker.
that- I
Got me
actually
some of
didn't
those
think that would
knockoff
happen.
Yeezys with a Packer symbol on it. He got you an Allen jersey. That was pretty sweet as
That
well.
was amazing.
And
Playmaker's
then Playmaker was it Micah Parsons? What did he get?
Minka, yeah. It was Parsons it wasn't Dak, it was Parsons.
Parsons, yeah.
No, yeah, because Sharif's a big Dallas fan, but his favorite player, like he might defend Dak Prescott, but he knows who the best player on that team is, right? Like
Oh, God. Now they want me to coach an all-girls under 10 team?
boom.
Yeah. I'm not overextended. Yeah, that's good. Damn it, you have success, and the next thing you know, it's blooming all over the place. We'll see about that. Okay, so for right now, let's just see what's going on now. Clean sweatshirt. Thanks, NECA. We're here. What's up with that? We're trying to live life over here, and it's been a good life, that's for sure. We're going to try to make it a lot better as we go. Although I never want to retire, and I think we're in the right business to never retire because you could day trade. I mean, you made a funny joke.
Billy Bombshell wants us to do shots. If we had some, I'm sure we would.
You know the funny thing is,
What's up?
you're not going to do this because you're not me, and it's a good thing.
What won't I do?
You won't log in and watch the show in Paris.
Oh, I'm not. That is definitely. If I'm with my wife, no.
Yeah, so-
there's been a couple of days. Like if I'm home and I'm off, and I may take my daughter to school or something, and I have literally nothing to do. Like the last time I was sick, I did my taxes, and then I was basically looking at charts.
Yeah, I gotta get
there's nothing
sick
else to
soon.
do. But it was there was one day I was just like I was a complete wreck, and it was productive because I did my taxes that day. I did them a month early, which was actually not that bad.
I
then
remember-
I was reading a bunch. I had nothing else to do. I did a project outside that we needed to get done, and then I was basically looking at charts, and I was reading some decent articles that week. As well, and I listened to a podcast. I listened to one of the compound things that day. But I don't like observing the actual market because if I'm not trading it, I find that it just gives me FOMO, and then I don't have a clear head for the next day. That's just not me. But when I go on vacation, I have zero problem disconnecting. If I'm on vacation with my wife or my kid, like there's no chance I'm thinking about anything but them. I get really in the moment for those things.
That's the advantage to you. I cannot stop thinking about this, and that's my problem. So, but no, when I was in Paris, remember we came back, and that's when I got the phone call on Sunday. Was like, yo, remember that show that you were going to do by yourself? Well, now you're going to be doing it with Neil because we thought that it could flow better, and they're right, and that was a great idea. So
you missed the conversation. It was a great conversation though, because we're sitting there, and we're testing out your webcam. Sean was in Paris, and we're on the bridge, and at his station, his webcam. And I was just sort of testing because you weren't here, so I was just sort of sitting there testing it out to make sure it worked. And our producer was behind, and as we were doing the testing, he just kind of goes, it would be a good idea if we had two people to go back and forth. And I'm sitting there and I'm in the chair and I'm like, I know exactly what he's going to say next.
Yeah.
And then, do you think we should tell Sean that we've changed the entire notion of what's going
he
to
phoned
happen
me
on Monday?
immediately.
And I was like, what I said was, no, don't bug him on vacation. Let him know when he comes back.
That's
and then,
it.
of course, he ended up calling you in.
Yeah.
But I did, for the record, I said, we can tell him when he comes back. Don't bug him on vacation.
Yeah, it does not bugging me.
No, it's fine. It is what it is. And the rest is sort of history. I see the Ali G glasses are on. Do we have that picture, by the way?
I'm trying to probably not.
It's
only Mahad over there. Let's not put
I'm not going to put any pressure on him.
on this.
It's only halfway there, but we'll see. We're still living on a prayer that the market will move out or make a break. But 244, if all you're going to get is inside the range, then we keep talking about it. Play inside the range. So we've got that last little curl on Meta. If you take this one, great. We took the higher low here. It can't seem to really break too far out there, but I'm not fighting any of this. So the same thing with Apple. If it gives you the move, oh man. So I took Meta. I thought Apple was going to get a little bit tighter to the bottom, but you know what? Apple's making higher lows here. So we did it with Apple, then we moved to Meta, basically the same trade. Something smells delicious, and then this gets into VWAP and turns right back around. So the scalp trade's in, whether you're scalping short tops or long on bottom, that's pretty much all you're able to do.
Someone reheated the lasagna.
That's all it is?
That's what I think.
It was okay. I had some of the lasagna because I didn't find that our salad was filling enough. But
What'd you have on top? I had like pieces of chicken. I didn't
Yeah,
know.
it was like
Same.
little chicken. It was a little.
I'm
bit of
always stealing some of that lasagna. That is what it is.
It was
but
okay.
I can't. It's so hard for me to eat lasagna though because honestly, man, it's like,
When you get the good stuff, it's
yeah,
like
nothing is like what Nona used to make. So, and shout out to my wife. My wife makes a great lasagna
know
as well. She makes great Thai food. My wife too, man, and great curries. Oh, my God.
I could go.
I mean, I'm like this. You know,
I
for a
could go
reason.
for Thai food.
Hard to find good lasagna. That is 100% true. That's why my father walked in and out of Olive Garden when we were younger. That was hilarious.
Olive Garden.
I didn't realize how hilarious that was at the time, but like now I remember, and I was like, wow, this guy's gangster, man. Like,
But when you're a kid, you don't realize that Olive Garden's not that great. It's like
a lot of people like Olive Garden. I've just never really gone there because of that moment in time.
the bread is
Like,
like
we went
you get a
in
lot
there,
of
my
bread.
dad was just like, this is not acceptable,
It's not
basically.
Italian, 'cause it's not
And we kind of
very
just walked out of there. Like, I don't know if we walked. That's how I remember it. That's probably not how it went down.
Can we get back to pad Thai for a second?
Oh, I love pad Thai. We had sushi
Salad King?
last night. Oh, Salad King. Oh my God.
my goodness.
That goes back. Anybody that's
20
from Toronto.
chilies, baby.
You're not Neil.
No, I used to eat 8, but no, because you know who I'm talking about. Our friend.
Baxter did something like that. And
Yeah,
he did not. He did not.
It's a
like
level of spiciness on their it was like 0 to 20.
Yep.
And we had a friend, rest in peace, who not for this, but he did the 20 chilies that one day, and I think
that. I mean, come on, man. I mean,
that's
this
how
is
he rolls.
crazy.
I was an 8, and I like hot food. I wouldn't really, because I want to enjoy it when I get it, but. He did that.
I like that. We are the Hall and Oates. What's up to youth there? We are the Hall and Oates of trading. So I think that's a good thing. Okay, let's go.
I know one of their songs. What's the?
SICP Silvergate is popping now.
No, it's not. We can't trade it because it's
FRCB.
we can't
Let's
trade
do a
that
little look on Pink Sheets here because you know what? Pink Sheets, shout out to Jeff Mendel. We do have all the time on VP of Operations, Jeffrey Mendel, coming through. And I will not say his name anymore until he takes me golfing. So, okay. So right now, FRCB not doing much at all. So there's that. SIVBQ. That's what it is, correct. Let's have a quick look at this one. I'm not doing this to pump anything up. I'm actually, we haven't looked at these in a long time. So here's SIVBQ doing nothing as well. We'll have the daily chart there. What was another one we did? FRCB. Oh, you talked about Silvergate. Was that a super chat or did I miss that? Shoot.
SICP.
I don't remember
what. Oh, wait a minute.
What is the Silvergate
We
one?
didn't have, it wasn't in our system.
Well, what was the symbol?
It's
though?
SICP. And we don't.
SICP? That's not what it is. Silvergate?
No, because, yeah, it is.
Is
it is. SICP.
Oh, Silver. Oh,
But it's-
partners. That's
But
why.
it's not in
why
our,
isn't it?
well, Capital Corporation.
SICP.
Yeah, but we don't have it apparently for some reason.
Why don't we
I
have
don't know
that?
why we don't have a
What is
quote
it
on
trading
this.
at? Why don't we have that?
I don't know.
Right there, $1?
It's trading at $1.17, so I guess it bounced a little bit. I don't know why we don't have it.
SIVB.
It is trading up here. This is gangster.
Oh, I
like
keep
how,
thinking SIVBQ. That's
I don't know
what
why usually we would have that symbol on OTC for us. So
What's
I'm
the
sure
volume
there's-
today? Because sometimes we
sure there's a
limit it if there's
reason
only like
for it.
50,000 shares, but it's way more than that. Does it show volume on there? There it
It's
is. Yeah,
done
300. No, it's
300,000.
not a
Yeah,
whole
why
lot
don't
of
we
volume.
have that?
Huh.
Maybe, yeah, that's weird.
Maybe get
Okay.
a ticket in for that.
Yeah, probably. I think you should put a ticket in.
Yeah. Okay. What is the symbol?
It's I'll send it to you. Actually,
Okay, yeah. Anyways, thanks for bringing that up. Anyways, okay, we digress. That took a little bit too long. BBBYQ. I'm surprised you didn't have that, and it's funny because they did go down, and we'd like to look at some pink sheets every once in a while, but that's not a lot of volume, so stay away from that. Like DIDI's done 4 million today, for example. There's Bed Bath & Beyond 3 million shares today as well. That's another pink sheet name to go. It's 320 right now. We are going to get, here. Adidas is AD. I don't see it. ADI. Yeah, I don't know. What is it, Brendo? ADS. That's it. Yeah, that's on DE though. No, there is a pink sheet name for it. That's what I was looking for. Okay, so I'll find that out in a minute. There is an Adidas pink sheet name, so we'll look at that in a second. I mean, I'm wearing the damn sweater, so I should be able to find out what that is for the pink sheets. But all right, back to quick trading, just quickly here. Starbucks is back down to its day's low pretty much again. I'm gonna put a bid here. Like if we can get something like 105. I've just been holding this too long. It just went all the way back up. We could have reshorted it, but again, like 105.40. Let's just put it there. Palantir's really not doing anything, so Starbucks, okay, SBUX, 105.40. We'll put a bid right there and see if we get that fill. All right, Palantir, again, come on, man. I mean, come on, man, Ed Lover. Like, this is not doing anything right now. Come on, son. Right down there, 1160. Yeah, come on, son. Nothing happening on that one either.
Ooh, 52-week high alert.
Uh-oh.
So,
KRS1?
I wish I could call it KRS1, but let's just do it. It's
Book up.
KRYS. Thank you in the chat for pointing this one out.
ADDY, that's a good one.
FDA approves first topical gene therapy treatment of wounds in patients with dystrophic epidermy. Whatever, man. Yeah, good news.
You should go into reading news releases on pharma companies.
Oh, goodness.
I found something for you to do when you retire.
As if I'm reading that shit. Come on, man. I can't read. Look. Sometimes it's reasonable, and other times it's yada 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 pharma. But this is it just hit the top. 95 is the high of the day. I could have maybe choked through that one, but whatever. We're live, and I'm not going to pretend that I pre-read that. So the smart thing to do would have been if I read it, made sure that I could say it properly, and then tried it. But come on, son, I'm not doing that. We're keeping it real around here. So a bit of a top-end break. The volume not that big, and I guess it's already put in that move. So I'm not sure you want to chase this one. Maybe put it on alert for next week, or maybe a follow-through trade through 95 because you've already sort of broken. I was showing you guys that daily chart, but it's now starting to break back out. High of the day has already been met, and it's running into some resistance. As far as what I'm looking at next, shocker. Apple as it comes back down in here. And I'm not trying to just sit in front of the bid, like what we did with Meta, like allow it to get to one of these bottoms, start making a turn, grab the long, stop out at the low. And when I see that happen, that's what I'll look for. Meta's starting to come back in here, so we'll try the same thing with that. I'm still in a firm, but I figured I'd go into like the scout mode. I put an offer in front of 90, and it got to 87. So I was looking for that 10-cent range, and it decided it's only going a 5 or 6 cent range instead. So I haven't really reloaded on a firm here. Still at that low of the day. What else do we got going on here? Not a heck of a lot. What else are we looking at?
I don't know. I'm going to say a big shout out here. My wife may or may not be watching, so I'm going to get in trouble. But bullish bombshell. Sean is hilarious today. Well, thank you very much. I'll try to be this way more often. What? No, Jim Brown passed away?
No.
Oh, no.
Oh, that's a legend.
All right, I'm wearing my Browns jersey on Monday. I probably will not, but shout out to that. That really, if that is true, which it probably is. 87, good life, obviously. 87's nice, but that's disappointing. I wonder if he was suffering from something or anything. What's up there?
This weekend, if you get a
thanks
chance.
for saying hi to my wife. Yeah, that's great.
Hi, Marissa.
Hi, everybody. She may or may not be watching. She is sending me a message right now.
If you've never seen it, obviously Jim Brown, well known for being like probably one of the greatest football players and general athletes.
Oh wow,
in American history.
Hell yeah.
But he was an activist as well. He was an actor. And if you've never seen I'm Gonna Get You, Sucker.
I was gonna say Naked Gun or something. Yeah, that's a good one.
Trust me. Trust. You want to watch. If you know like the Wayans brothers, and you're like, okay, well, where did they get their start? Or in Living Color back in the day, it all started with I'm Gonna Get You, Sucker. And it's basically like a spoof film on Shaft. And he was in that. He was hilarious. Who else was in there? I mean, obviously, he had a lot of stars. Chris Rock. I think it was Chris Rock's first acting role, to be honest with you. And one of his famous stand-up bits, he does it in that movie. It's a freaking hilarious movie if you get a chance to watch it. What's my favorite movie, Aaron Yeager? You know what? I don't know that I can say anything but like Godfather 1 and 2 are perfect movies, but I don't know that I would say that they're my favorite. I have to really, really think about it. I'm a big sci-fi guy. I love 2001. I thought that was brilliantly done. I like Star Wars, but I don't think that's necessarily the greatest film of all time. I love The Color Purple. But the funniest movie, and is a weird thing to say, the funniest movie I've ever seen, in my estimation, is Tropic Thunder. It is the comedy I can watch over and over and over again, and I will just always die laughing every time I watch it. Thank you. Honest Abe in there. Welcome to Trade TV Live, new member.
Oh, I like that.
We like it. That's what we like. It's almost 3:30. I'm going to make an assumption that the imbalances might not be that big today. I could be wrong, but I'm going out on a limb and suggesting that in this type of a market, we might not get some crazy action with the imbalances.
You could be wrong.
Oh, it's a Friday. It's options. It's a Friday, right? So anything can happen. My guess would be no. I'm still looking for a bit of a turn in Apple. It's slowing down here. Hasn't really started the buying yet, but this is where it happened last time at 175.25. So here into 175.10 is somewhere that I'd want to be able to see. Lots of good movies. I see Airplane. That's freaking hilarious. If you've never watched that movie, I love that deadpan humor. And there's so many great movies out there.
Leslie Nielsen.
Yeah, Leslie Nielsen. That guy was. He was.
You know what I saw last night that was on something? Was a really great movie. Snatch. That's a great one.
Wait a minute, Snatch or Lock, Stock? Which one?
Well,
That's not hard. It's not easy, is it?
I mean, I just saw Snatch yesterday. I like both of them, man. I like both of them.
Guy Ritchie movies are great. And
Remember when Madonna was dating Guy Ritchie? Did they marry? I don't know. I remember
who
something.
wasn't she dating, dude?
Me and you, I guess. Yeah, other than that, today, 52-week highs, Apple, ASML, Berkshire, CMG, Chipotle is in the building,
ASML,
General Electric, man. Eli Lilly, I've sold some of that recently. Meta, MasterCard, Oracle, our boy, Palantir. I stamped a buy rating on Uber at $30, and you see Uber today hitting 52-week highs. We'll see what happens at $40 for Uber as that continues to go upside as well. Okay, so Palantir just dropped out there. Womp womp. Kind of as expected, honestly. Palantir just dripped out. We didn't do anything. We bought a 65, and then it just does part of that trade. There it goes to the downside. So, yeah, that sucks. But then we just took some more profit again. We're short here at 80s, 75s on AMD, and we just got a 62. We're waiting for a little bit lower now. And then Starbucks is at a pushed spot now where we are already getting out if it takes 75. So it's getting close. We're bidding 40. We're also bidding 75 if it breaks. So in and out of Starbucks. But, hey, we're short at 105. We're short at 106.20. So Starbucks is a win-win situation. There's my initial short earlier on, man. We took the short at 10:30, and we're still in it. Okay, AMD, let's go. Come to the party. Go to the downside a little bit. That would be nice here, but that's what we're waiting for down there on Starbucks as we go. So it should be a good close. Brennan just brought. Oh no, it's not out yet. It will be coming through soon. ADDYY right there.
Oh, that's for
yeah, I mean,
Adidas,
it's done 2,000 shares today, and you can see here Adidas off 94 down to 86 right there. And the other one is ADD.
How many shares? Oh, it doesn't trade, I guess.
2,000 shares. Yeah, we don't have ADDFF. There was another one there as well, but that's okay. Sorry, ADDDF.
I got three things.
We only have the other one, so that's all good.
Yeah, I got three things here. One, I think I got in a bit early on Apple. Apple bounced off this low at 175.10, but it didn't really show a lot of strength. I ended up getting in here at 18s, and I'll give it to the, I won't even give it to the even. I'm just going to give it to the bottom, risk 10 cents here, because I'm in early. This is the actual curl here. Which usually where you get in. I would have had like 15s or 16s. That's not a big difference. The second part of it is, someone asked me what I think about the Fletch movies with Chevy Chase. Chevy Chase is one of the most underrated comedians out there. I think one of the reasons he's not as respected is because apparently people have some interesting things to say about him as a person. The Saturday Night Live cast always talks about that, to be honest with you. And then there was someone in the chat asked me, what is the smallest position in my long-term portfolio? You know what? I don't even have to look it up because I do know this. I held on to it. So I bought some things during the pandemic that I kind of knew like were getting overheated that were some fun, and then some of them did well. But I held on to a few of them on the way back in, and one of those was a very small piece of Virgin Galactic because I'm a space nerd, and one of these days I would love to go on that flight. So I held on to a small piece of that on the way back in that I feel like if it goes to zero, I'll just go down with the ship on that one. So that's an easy answer for me. I don't even have to look at it. Like that's the biggest piece of junk that I own. Well, and it's a small piece, but it's definitely right now not worth a heck of a lot of anything. Although it is bouncing a little bit.
I think, I think Chevy Chase is, I mean, he stars in, I think it's like the most watched movie of all time, to be honest with you. It's probably not of all time, but it's getting close
Christmas
up there.
Movie?
The Christmas Vacation.
Yeah.
And that was, I mean, the European one was okay. But you know what he's really hilarious in? And this is another one of my favorite movies that I just saw again, and it's rated and it's with Bill Murray.
Oh, no, I thought you were going to say Three Amigos. Oh, never mind.
Three Amigos, like, come on. Steve Martin as well. I mean, no,
Apple.
Caddyshack.
Yeah, of course. Of course. What am
come
I
on,
even
I mean,
talking
what
about?
are you even talking
No,
about?
Three
Neil?
Amigos is good, but Caddyshack is, I mean, look, what, yeah, exactly. What are we-
That also had, what's
it.
Rodney Dangerfield? I mean, come on.
Whoa.
What are we-
Rodney
what are-
Dangerfield,
what are we even talking
back
about?
to school. If you've never seen Back to School,
Oh,
Rodney
people have seen
Dangerfield,
that.
yo, that is legit
That is the gem.
hilarious, hilarious. movie.
Meanwhile,
The Jerk, that's good. Too.
have a good, yeah. Well, he is a
That's-
pretty,
that's
he is,
a
he is a pretty
Martin.
big jerk, that's for sure.
No, that's Steve Martin. That one.
Oh, that one, okay, yeah. But Rodney Dangerfield, I mean, questionable. Like it's like Andrew Dice Clay. Like, what are we even
What's
talking
that guy
about here?
doing?
Exactly. So there it is. AMD probably just charging people. I don't know. Wait a minute. He didn't pass away, did he? No, I don't think so.
Dice? I don't think
Did
so.
he?
I feel like we'd know that.
I feel like. No. Okay.
No, we know that.
No. Oh, it was Norm Macdonald. Okay, so here's a downside move right now for AMD. So let's ring the registers again. I mean, here's 25 cents. Look, I mean, I wish we were moving a little bit more here, but if we're going to be scalping, this is like, short and out, short. Never got blown out really of anything. I mean, it did go to the upside there. We took some out because of that move, thinking that we were going to possibly break VWAP and start to go back up. But we just got out for flat there, and then now we're able to get the rest out here on the bottom. So yeah, man, it's 330. Brendan just put in there. There you go. Almost $1 billion, 750, 3/4 of the way to the sell side on the market, on close, imbalances, and
Well, that's probably what got Apple out. So I was in at 18 and I'm out at 8 there. So we take like that 10-cent hit. But actually the 750 selling bounces, you're on the low. So at this point, I think it's more like short the pops instead of the other way around. Alibaba, what is Baba making moves? I haven't really looked at this today. Oh, it caught in a bit of a bid. It's not really doing much. Never mind. A little bit. Actually, no, it caught a bid. It got into VWAP. Today, that's actually a decent move, right? Like 84,
I mean, I'd
breaking
short
out
that
into
right
VWAP.
now.
But I don't know. Chinese
Maybe
ADRs after 330. Like, historically speaking, you trade these names in the last 20 minutes of the market, and you're basically asking to just pay the spread a couple of times. They don't usually move. Like, you should have already had this move, and now it's like, whatever. I don't think there's going to be anything left on it at this particular point. Anything at the top of range. Wise Key, by the way,
I really
that's
love
now
Tommy
done.
Boy.
That's now done. I mean, I could go all day.
Chris Farley, that's another guy. Obviously, he's not with us, but I really, really like Tommy Boy as well. That was one of my favorite. And then, whatever. Anything by Al Pacino. I mean, I'm loving Scarface. That's one of my favorite movies of all time. But yeah, I can't believe he was 83 years old when I read that. I was like, what the heck?
But also,
and congratulations to Robert De Niro fathering his 7th child
Yeah.
at the age of 79. So that's a nice move there. Okay, so
Steve G, yes, 100%. I will. That's a good battle. War of the Worlds with The Day the Earth Stood Still, but all day, The Day the Earth Stood Still. And I can tell, like, no one's going to get this unless you're an actual nerd. I will never forget the phrase that saves the world. Klaatu Barado Nikto. And if you don't know what that is, then you got to go watch that movie. The remake is trash. I love Keanu Reeves, but the remake is terrible. You got to watch the original in black and white. It is absolutely unbelievable. But War of the Worlds, it was fun, but it's about the original radio broadcast, not necessarily the remake they made with Tom Cruise. Always go to those originals. Some things do not need to get remade. Like, I love 12 Angry Men is one of my probably favorite movies of all time. They remade that with Tony Danza. I'm not making this up.
I love Alyssa Milano.
Yes. Well, yeah. But you can't go from Henry Fonda in one of the most classic movies to remake it with Tony Danza. And I have nothing against Tony
man,
Danza.
Who's the boss, bro?
But like, what are we talking
Come on.
about?
What do you mean, Tony
Pure
Danza?
drama.
Classic, man, Tony Danza.
That was a great show, by the way.
Of course it was, man. Family Ties, Who's the Boss, original Full House. I mean, now you're talking to the G's.
Bob Saget
right
is
now.
freaking hilarious if you've never seen
Yeah,
his
rest in
stand-up.
peace.
His stand-up was not what you would expect if you only know Full House. That's all I
Well,
was saying.
yes, most stand-ups are not what you
Most.
expect if they're.
Yeah.
you know,
Except
if
for
you know them as, like, if you only know Bill Burr from Mandalorian, then you might.
he's pretty good in that though.
He's a pretty good actor, I think, overall.
He
He's been in a
really
few other
is.
things,
He
too.
actually is.
So shout out to Bill Burr. I really like Bill Burr, obviously. Okay, so we scalped out some more there. We just talked about getting out some AMD at 52. Now it's back to 64. We're just letting this market sort of go here, as you could see what we're doing. You know, so someone mentioned Alibaba. I think you're right about staying away from it now. Back down to $84. Wow. This was one of those rug pulls that we talked about. Alibaba was really, really working. And then all of a sudden it wasn't. So you know, you're bouncing off this 80, everything looks good. They come out and then boom to the downside. And we've had some really good trades off Alibaba lately. So we'll probably be back on this next week. Not in it today, which I'm kind of surprised. What did it do today?
No.
Well, that move was something there. I don't know what started. That was 10.30. Big move up there for Alibaba to 85 and change. But it was probably better to look at on a 20-minute chart just to see sort of what, there it is. Someone was, I got to pull this up a little bit. Someone was asking for different price targets on AMD. I'll give that to you in a second. I don't really see too many trades here in Alibaba. I mean, you have a gap fill that could happen to up to 86. So I wouldn't mind that. If we get anywhere near there on Tuesday next week, we'll see about an 86 short. So for right now, that is Alibaba. No, I don't have much to say on it. I haven't really been looking at the news for China or for Alibaba the last little while. I just know that I wanted them to talk more about their IPOs, and then that didn't really happen. So I feel like it's a nothing burger now with Alibaba. You just wait for 80. You wait for 80 or you wait for 90, and we'll look at that 86 level when that does come through. Let's go to PACW just to see if anything's going on right now. I'm not, like, I have a scanner here. This is a hot list from eSignal. I have it also for trade ideas. You guys can grab that. The trade ideas, I actually look at the volume scanners rather than just a straight hot list. But these are names that could possibly be moving. Tesla, Nvidia. Oh yeah, Foot Locker. Wow, down 27%. So I thought it recovered a little bit, but it's at 30. Let's have a
It
quick.
didn't break the low, though. It held
What is the low? That's what I want to check.
29,988 from this morning,
so
and,
right
and it
here.
held it. So it's still, it's crazy. It never broke that bottom.
Yeah, there's
Never.
30 on Foot Locker. Wow, you are right near the bottom again. Look at that. This was missed, I feel like, for us, because, you know, obviously a big red day, and then there is, if I zoom in, I don't want it to get lost. There's not really anything happening, but there
That's a good
was
short.
definitely a short in for that for Foot Locker. So I feel like 30.80 would have been a good play right there on Foot Locker. So something definitely to come into play there. So we missed that for sure. Is that Ahmed here? Ahmed, how are you, my friend? We do have a special guest. One of our viewers is coming in to the show right now. Why don't you come over here, Ahmed? Nice to meet you. Come over here. No, come walk this way.
Oh, yeah, walk.
Yeah, watch your step there because. Hi, Ahmed. I'm Sean.
Nice to meet you.
How are you? You are Ahmed.
Good to meet you, Ahmed.
Nice to meet you.
How long have you been watching the show for?
Almost 2 years now.
How many?
2 years.
2 years. Sorry about that.
Yeah, no.
Good. So you know about these bears and bulls and all these kind of stuff.
I know everybody here.
Is Neil your favorite host?
Neil and yourself.
Oh, and myself. Okay.
That's a smart answer.
Thank you for that. And where do you live?
Montreal.
Montreal.
Oh, you're from Montreal.
Good. What are you doing here? Vacation?
I came to visit my mother.
Oh, sweet.
Oh, that's
Good. Nice.
Interview with you guys sometimes. You know.
that's what I like to hear. Can
Ahmed-
you give me a phrase in French that I should remember?
In French, bonjour Montréal.
Hello, Montreal. Okay. Neil's going to Paris.
Very really? Oh.
I
nice.
leave tomorrow.
He speaks no French.
Oh, he speaks no French.
Very
Oh, you're
little.
gonna learn. You're gonna make a few words.
Papa.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pass the wine.
Thank you, Ahmed. We will. And do you mind ringing the bell?
Sure, no problem.
Awesome.
It's my pleasure.
Okay, great. Well, thank you. If I had anything to give you, I would. But there we go. I've always said that we should have like little, not gifts, but like photos.
Well,
That we
yeah,
just
we could do like
sign,
signed
it's a Trader
photos.
TV. It doesn't have to be of us, but just something like Trader
Well, I
TV
mean,
Live.
why not? Should be of us.
I don't know.
Should be of us. But it would be a good idea. So everyone who comes by gets something.
I wanna interview more
we usually
people,
Try to.
Brendan.
We usually try to give something. Like we'll sign something for people that come through. Like get one of these mugs. We have so many of these. It's actually ridiculous.
Yeah, but I don't know. They're all on lock and key, man.
You gotta.
And she's not here today.
When it gets opened up, you just gotta.
I'm gonna find him a water bottle. I'm
come
gonna
out.
give Ahmed a water bottle.
Someone had asked me about why Brothers United. Asked about PDD, and I was going to mention here. So you asked about PDD. I don't know. You're stuck yesterday. Maybe you went into the long off of it. The good news is that Pinduoduo on the daily is holding 60 really well. So come to my chart for a second. If you happen to be long, then it's got a bottom at 60, but this is not a good trend. And so it's been trending to the downside. You've seen what happened to Alibaba. And in sympathy, it was headed back down in. It's not fantastic, but really, with a 60 stop, you do have some support on it underneath. And if you look at the weekly, yes, it's broken the downtrend, but were it to hold 60, I suppose there's a bit of a chance to go back up. I've been bearish on it for a bit since it made that like this quadrunk underneath under 80, and it's been a bit bearish. That said, it's holding the bottom today. 60 is a decent support level, but if that breaks, it's in a little bit of trouble down there. And it really did not get back above yesterday's high. I'm kind of asking myself why I wasn't looking at that one this morning after it was a good sympathy play for Bob. So watch out for the entire space. They tend to gap around. Very often, you're always seeing an overnight gap one direction or the other. Market is about to, it's still a sell imbalance, but it's now 755, so that's slightly lower, I think. Was it bigger than that, or was it?
It was 755. What is it now?
No, it's still 755. I guess I thought.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no update on it. It's still the same. I only have one trade on. It's going to be a firm holding on to that short. The longs haven't really set up as well. I did have Apple that third time. It didn't work. Actually, Meta probably would have worked the third time. So Apple doesn't work the third time. Meta puts in a higher low again. So I guess that scalp trade continuing to work. But I'm only in currently the short in a firm, which I'm going to have to get out at some point. Like, it's not even doing anything right now, just holding the low.
Thank you for the nice talk there in the chat. And yeah, we try to support, all of our viewers, man. You want to stop by, we've talked about that. Yeah. So that was really nice. Obviously, we don't know Ahmed, but that was really nice to see that. I like talking to people, obviously, as well. So that was really nice.
Lots of fans of the show have ended up on the floor, too.
That was really nice. Yeah, that's Sharif.
Ian as well.
I mean, so there you go. All right, so we're out. I didn't get out of it all, but we got filled back down, and I could get out of it all. We got a 45 fill, and I pulled. So we got filled there, and we didn't get filled on everything, so I pulled the order, and we're still in the short for Starbucks, but we definitely want to take out half of what we had left. So that's that, and that's completing this trade. I mean, you guys looking for a trade? This was not a fresh one, but this is from the morning and all the way down there to the downside. And while we were talking not while we're talking, it just happens right now. Right back out for flat out of the last 10% of AMD. And again, look at all these outs, man. We are just holding that last piece for that move down. But it's 844 right now.
844?
844. 344. You just got to draw that line on the 3 and make it an 8.
Yes.
Although I wish it was 844, to be honest with you. I'd like to trade again. But I'm happy to go home today. I've already got the wine of the week right now. We have my son has hockey again tonight. What are we eating tonight?
So guess the wine.
Oh, no. She just sends me the wine of the week.
Oh, it's from the LCBO and you just pick up. Yeah,
yes. It's actually from blog post in Toronto. I don't know, some Toronto blogger posted wine of the week. And I'll actually, anyways, whatever. I'll dox myself by showing my email.
No, don't do that. Don't do that.
But anyways, yeah, so then I kind of stop by. If I like it, I stop by and pick it up. But I feel like the weather, I don't know, what's the weather supposed to be this weekend? I thought it was like,
it's raining tomorrow.
Yeah, maybe I'll get a red then. I was going to say if it's a patio wine, we'll get something nice and white and have that.
Oh, but it's nice right now.
Do you prefer? Yes. Yeah, Pinot Noir, I really, but a Cab Sav, I mean, anything from California, I really like. I like the Oregon. You talked about Oregon. Pinot is really nice, the Pinot Noir. I'm more of like an oaked Chardonnay kind of person, but I don't really, honestly, I'm not like one of those, aficionados or anything like that.
There was a point when we had our own floor, though, that we went in on, because it would get delivered to our office.
Yeah.
Like, we went in with one of our friends.
That's because of our wine
school.
aficionado friends.
No, one of our friends is he is an aficionado, and he got us in this wine club, and we get them delivered different wines to our office back in the day. But I don't know, you have kids, you move on in life. We kind of got away from that. We don't drink as much wine. Like that, you were constantly getting fantastic bottles of wine. That really, you'd keep a couple if you have a cellar or I had a wine fridge at the time, or you'd be drinking them. And I just thought at some point it got a bit much. But yeah, you can't really go wrong, man. I feel like today I'm making myself a Manhattan when I get home.
I've been liking tequila lately, but I'm not really drinking much anyways. So.
That's what it's going to be.
All right, here we go. So with only now 14 minutes left.
4-2 imbalances.
In the day, 4-2 imbalances, so we'll wait for that.
Tesla's moving? I don't know.
I'd love to go to Oregon. I mean, I've never really been. I've been to Victoria on the West Coast. Never been to I've been to California. Sorry, I went to Fresno. Nice. I have a cousin. Part of my family. My dad's sister lives in Fresno, so
I didn't know that.
Shout out to some Italians out there. Yeah, for sure.
What's hilarious? I've been to California, but you probably would not guess literally the place I was in California.
Hollywood.
No. So
Ontario.
No, I had an uncle. I'm not making this crap up. He lived in South Central, and we visited. We went to Vancouver, and then from there we were there for a weekend, and then we went down with my brother and my pops. We went to visit him. We ended up at least doing some normal things. We went to now I'm losing my mind, Disneyland.
Yeah, whatever it is
over
over
out
there,
there,
yep.
whichever it was. But I'll never forget. Like, it was interesting walking the streets there, because I remember, like, I got instructions. It was like, do, don't do, wear, don't wear.
Yeah.
But it was like for a couple of days, and it was an interesting experience to tell you.
Yeah, that's cool. I mean, every city, province, town has rough
Anywhere.
patches, I would assume.
Oh, I was in Cincy with one of our buddies from
Fresno's
university.
hard, eh? I didn't realize that when I was there.
You know who I went to Cincy with. I won't say his name or anything like that, but let's just say one of our boys from high school, and who might not look the same as I do. We crossed the wrong side of the tracks and got lost in Cincinnati. And I remember I'm like, look, man, you just got us lost. Just go stop and go.
Cincinnati is
and he go get some directions because you just got us lost.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm not getting out of the car. And
he's a white guy. Why don't you just say that?
Okay, fine, I could have said that. He's like, I will not get out of the car to go in that convenience store to ask for directions. I'm like, seriously?
Yeah.
What do you think is going to happen?
This is 25 years ago.
Was it that long ago?
A lot of Mexican
Oh,
gangs.
shit, yes, it was 25 years ago.
I mean, I do your age minus 25, and you're.
No. We're in university.
That was university time?
Yeah, it was like 20.
Oh, well, yeah, Cincinnati.
Cincinnati.
Yeah.
I was like
so
23.
20 years ago.
So it was like.
20 years ago.
But that's not the same as 25, okay? Those 5 years matter when you get this old. Come on, son.
I'm going to say the opposite. I feel like as you get older, it's not going to matter if you're 43 or 38. Do you feel that way? I don't know.
Tell that to my. Well, yeah, that's true. No, you're right. It is true.
Okay. Okay. So I don't know. People. I've started something here with Fresno. I don't know anything about it. So that's just where I was. But okay. So not really any news stories hitting. We are going to wait for the imbalances coming through. Let's check out Roblox. It says my thing just shows a scanner here of Roblox possibly moving around. I have no idea why I have these glasses on. All right. Roblox $40 again for. Wow. Yes, sir. Okay. There's always something happening. You know, Roblox straight up to the upside, down 5% today, and almost straight up $1.
How do we miss that?
Right now, I don't know. This is what looks like on a 5-minute chart.
At the risk of sounding unpopular, I blame myself.
Me too. I blame Neil for this.
No,
one,
you know
so
what's hilarious? There was a point today where we're just shooting the whatever, and I was like, I wonder what Roblox is doing. And then then I didn't actually pull it up. I said it, and then I went back. I went to like scalping Apple or whatever the heck I was doing before that. And it did not pull up Roblox. So that's my bad.
Okay. Palantir running into the close. Yeah, okay. Yeah, just seeing some funny stuff there in the chat. Okay, so swing trade ideas. Oh, man. Yeah, I see. What's up, Shakib, and everybody there. Shakib, and as soon as he says that, I instantly think about Alibaba, and I don't like Alibaba now. I think that's going to be in danger of breaking that 80. So you could swing it down from 85 to 80. That could be a possibility there if you're looking for a short swing trade idea. I feel like a lot of these stocks have been bumped up a lot recently, and I actually like DraftKings. I think they had a decent quarter, but again, just on the daily, I always look to think of things. Oh, there it is. The imbalances are out that are possibly overextended, and I think DraftKings could be one of those all the way up here. So I think maybe a swing off of 25 for DraftKings back down to 21. We'll talk about that next week when it hits 21, and then you can
sell.
Yeah, Apple with a sell. What do I have? I still have Starbucks. Starbucks is downside there. Apple's.
Oh, I got trailed out of a firm. Oh well.
Okay, so you're out of a firm.
Bring it on a firm.
There's
finally.
Alibaba. Someone agrees with me.
That's a sell. There's a lot of it's options expiration. That's why you're seeing a lot of millions here.
Oh, what is the number? 2. So, we said maybe you remember maybe small. I'm like maybe
but
not.
It's
2.
You're right. It's triple witching.
What?
It's the third Friday
of May.
It is the third Friday today, so that's why FSL 3.6 to buy, Cisco 1.9 to sell. These aren't that big for a triple witching day. These are not huge. Pfizer 1.2, that's not gigantic. BABA 900,000 to sell. Xpeng, that doesn't really matter. There's no big tech in here.
Yeah, there was.
Where? Where did you see?
I saw Apple. Apple was a sell. Baba's here. Baba's not huge anymore, but there it is right here.
Google's here.
Apple 800.
Okay, I must have.
800 to sell right there for Apple. And Apple was starting to. Apple, look at that wick down. So again, it's not even that huge. I thought it was bigger than that. We got it from 175.10 down to 174.90. So that's really just 20 cents there. After that, it's a whole bunch of nothing. Pfizer's continuing to get beat up, but it's trying to hold 35, which is good right there. I'm probably going to step into Pfizer at some point. I've never been in it, and I think now it's beat up a lot. Some biotech
26
names,
has been the best level to buy.
2.6.
26.
Oh, okay.
26 was my pandemic entry.
Okay, so we have a long time.
You got a
for
ways
that.
to go.
That's
no,
not
dollar.
getting,
I'm dollar costing it once it breaks 35. I'm already bidding. I might get it next week.
yeah, it's not. I don't think it gets that low. 26. That'd be unbelievable. Okay, call for Brendan.
A little bit of news, guys, in the airline group right now. Judge blocking this alliance between American Airlines and JetBlue. So that just came across. So JBLU popped up there a little bit.
JBLU. You don't have
I just got out of Starbucks. JetBlue, is it moving around?
a little move there.
What do we want to do? What do we want to do?
Not a huge move. So by the way, at 355, you will see a lot of these start to pair off a little bit. So if on the off chance that one of these gets bigger or stays the same, you could see some price action that's exciting. So Cisco, I would think, given the report they had and the reaction to it, might be something. Up at 49, 1.6 million to sell. It's more what it did after the earnings than anything else, right? Like it was a bad report. It wicked a big flat bottom and then has been just rallying. So it trapped shorts underneath and has been rallying to the upside. It would have been nicer, I would think. It's actually back above the 50 period, so good look for Cisco there. But I'm going to keep on the imbalances. That's a sell imbalance. I think it'd be more interesting if it was a buy imbalance, to be honest. Just the way that it rugged everybody and went up, it'd be more exciting if that was a buy imbalance in Cisco. And as I say it, it's already pairing off. So 1.6 down to 1.0. So this is likely going to pair. If it just lost 600,000 on that imbalance now, by 355, it probably goes away altogether.
Shout out to my lovely wife right now as she's messaging me saying, "Oh, did you see that email about the rep girls team?" Yeah,
that's a hint.
Yeah, I did.
That's
of course.
That's a you're doing it, right?
Well, no, she ain't like that, but yeah, she's just like, yeah, FYI.
Why don't you?
Well, no, she knows that I'll probably do it already.
Yeah, you're gonna do
and the thing is that it's such a great feeling because there was record enrollment into Little League, and that's because of. Part of it is because of the success that we had as a group last year. So that was really nice to see. And I just think more girls in sports. 1 in 6 girls that play competitive sports are out of it by the time they're 13 or something. That's an absolutely ridiculous number. And I think that's just going to get higher. That's just going to get better and better in the favor of girls because now there's just more opportunity for girls, right?
Yes.
I mean, with the WNBA, there's also a hockey league now being developed for women. And then, of course, track and field's getting more popular on the women's side.
It's not just scholarships anymore.
Oh no, it's getting the WNBA. Toronto's getting a team. I mean, that's been pretty popular.
How crazy was the reaction to the game that was in Toronto? It was. I wasn't there, but the atmosphere was apparently amazing. Like they had a fantastic crowd. So I mean, Toronto tends to really support those types of things really well. When you give us a shot, it's something we've never seen before, where you're going to be pretty warm to it. My disappointment with for my daughter's sake is she wants to play baseball. I told you this. So in like the T-ball where they start up, it's kind of like, it's called rally ball. It's a hybrid of T-ball, but she's the only girl on the team. And when she plays, she's often one of the only girls that's there. And she doesn't want to play softball. And so, as far as I'm concerned, if you want to play baseball, you play baseball. And you keep doing that as long as you want. And she can make a decision whenever. But it would be cool if maybe she had a few other, some of her friends would be able to play. It's fine. She has friends in the neighborhood that play. But
He's got to move to Toronto, man. It's High Park, baby. We've got so many girls playing right now. And we're like an official Little League.
Oh, yeah, that's the thing.
So that's the thing.
But,
Maybe she can go to Williamsport, Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania.
Hey, Ahmed, what's up, my guy? He's ready to rock and roll.
Getting instruction on how to ring the bell? It's not that complicated, Brendan. Were you giving directions?
Come on, Brendan.
It's not that complex.
Yeah, no. He's just showing him that you can see everything.
This is where you stand.
Right there, yeah. Stand there. Don't trip. Do this. Do that.
Don't break the mallet.
Yeah. Oh, okay, here we go. Just put the Trader TV Live logo. Okay, here we go.
It's getting really complex over there, apparently.
Brendan is just really hooking this up, so that'll be a good one there.
He is.
As we get ready to rock and roll. So shout out to everybody today. I feel like we had a great day trading, and I hope that everyone feels the same way about the show that we put on here today.
Yes, sir.
And with that being said, please hit the like and subscribe. We love Kat, but she ain't here today, so.
Hola, like and subscribe today.
Hola, says Kat, and from wherever she is, and we will just continue
Wherever the wedding is, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, she's at a wedding today. Not her wedding, so don't worry about that, everybody out there.
Wow. Yeah, we should've said that.
Yeah, we are getting ready to get out of. Well, I'm out of every position right now, so we're just gonna wait to see what does happen. Starbucks pulling back a little bit.
Ooh, Tesla dropped
Oh, I got to
Not
cancel
Tesla,
my
Apple
stop
just
orders.
dropped.
Cancel your stop orders if you have
I
any.
just got rid of all of my stops because I realized I needed to do that. That's obvious.
Good call.
So I'm flat. I got rid of all my stops, double checking, no orders out for me. So it may be 3 minutes to the close, but I'm on vacation.
Yeah.
Yeah. How this Friday didn't we have any drinks? Today
I
was.
literally asked for them.
Yeah, I know. Should have just gone.
That
what
did
was
not
I doing?
happen.
Yeah, whatever. It's fine. It doesn't really matter.
It's fine. We don't need to. We don't have to drink.
We don't need to. We had fun anyways, and we got Ahmed on the bell in about a couple of
my
in
favorite
about 3
day.
minutes here. So
it's
it's going
Ahmed
to be
Day,
fun.
baby. All right, Ahmed, what's your favorite stock? Tesla.
Tesla, there it is. There it is.
What's your least favorite stock? Ford.
Ooh,
Oh my God.
You're
taking
lucky
shots
Randy's
at
not here.
Ford.
Where's Randy? Randy on vacation today.
Randy would be, yeah. Randy
but
would be
anyways,
having
let's
some
go.
orders.
Yeah, everyone's excited for you on the chat right now. They're saying, "Let's go, Ahmed." So we only have 2 minutes now before the close. What a great day it was. We had Jerome Powell speaking
Oh,
today.
yeah,
We
he
had
did
some
speak
Fed
today.
speak. It's Neil's last day for a week, and then I want to say,
Week in a day.
what do we call it? Just May 2-4? Is it called Victoria Day? What is it called this weekend? Anyways,
Victoria, yeah.
I think it is Victoria Day,
I think
right?
it is.
Happy Victoria Day to everybody out there celebrating. We
not
are
know
back
that?
live on Monday. We don't take any vacations around here on Canadian holidays, but we will be Memorial Day.
Yeah, the following
the
Monday. we're
following
off.
Monday coming into play there. So the market's trying to go back to positive.
Oh,
We
thank
actu-
you. Thank you, Palmetto Nick, for the super chat there. Much love to you as well.
Missed that super chat. Yeah, okay. Go Lakers, go as well. For people there in the chat, I'm off that bet now as it's 2-0 Denver. Right now, the NASDAQ trying to get back to positive. We could get there on a little late rally, but I don't think so right now with only a minute and a half to go. So, yeah, we're excited. It's going to be a good weekend, man. It's a good weekend to hockey, baseball, PGA championships as well.
Basketball.
Right there, basketball. Yeah, we were just talking about basketball. And whatever you're doing with your family, have lots of barbecues. It's springtime and it's close to summer, so get out there with your loved ones and have a great weekend. And Neil, obviously have a great trip, but I'm not done with you. We're going to talk to you afterwards. As we only have a minute left, we're all flat right now. Tesla's leading the way today, Ahmed,
is.
so you're going to like that one.
Up 1.8 today.
Up 1.8% into a negative NASDAQ, so that's all good. Right, Beyond Meat down 7% as one of the worst names today that I could see that we sometimes will trade.
Yuck.
Coinbase, our favorite stock to absolutely crap on, that is down 6% to 56.
shorted
Neil.
that.
Today, GameStop, sorry about this, everybody, down 4%. Peloton down 2%. Other than that, AMD is a big name that's down 2% as well there. So, all right, with only 30 seconds left, where are the Jays this week? They just finished with New York. They're still at home, I think.
I actually don't know because obviously I'm going away, so I didn't check the schedule. I know that we're in. We
We
played
just
in
played New York.
here.
We lost 1-3, like 3-1 there on the one
That's
win.
not cool. Judge
3.
is kind of good at baseball.
He's kind of good, yeah. All right, we
Get
only
it off
have now
us.
10 seconds left. So it's Ahmed from Montreal, and thank you for coming by to see us, my friend. And now we're counting this down with 3, 2, and 1. Give this man a contract. That was a great job there. Thank you so much, Ahmed, for doing that. Great job. Well done on the bell ring. Again, hey, man, thank you. Don't go anywhere.
Yeah, stick
I
around.
have something for you. And it's
just
now
leave it right
4
there. It's all
o'clock
good.
as we go.
Oh,
Yeah.
you're at the game tonight?
Oh, who are they playing? Orioles.
Oh, it's Baltimore.
Oh,
Okay.
good. Another
Yeah.
AL East matchup there.
Well, the subway's a better idea.
You can get here from here, no problem.
You can walk. It's actually a nice day.
Oh, you can walk.
Yeah, you can walk. It's about a 30
Like a
30
30-minute,
minutes.
40-minute walk.
Yeah, just head
Downhill.
straight south. Yeah, if you want.
When you get to the lake, stop.
Yeah, don't go.
But then you go into the lake. You know. He's like looking at me like, yeah. Anyways, you'll find it. It's a great, we'll help you find that. All right, it's 4. He's looking at me like, what, the lake?
I got that one right away.
When you
That
get
was
to
a
the
good one.
lake.
Oh, goodness.
Oh, man. Or when you see a big, huge tower.
Then you know you've got the right spot. You
That's the
can't
best
miss
part. You can never
You can
miss
never-
a Jays game because you just stand in Toronto, look for the CN Tower,
Right next
and
to
right
CN.
beside that is the Sky Dome.
Yes.
All right, Brendan. I don't think we got back to positive, but I won't tell anybody about the ES. I'll leave that to you.
We did not. I won't keep anyone waiting. 0.15 for the S&P when all is said and done here. Downside 0.33 for the Dow. Everything in the red, unfortunately, including the NASDAQ guys, 0.25% for both. The composite and the 100, after all that, ends up being a pretty kind of dull, nothing day.
Yeah, thanks for the super chat there. We did realize that Jim Brown did pass away, so a big shout out to Willis Addison. Thank you so much. And yeah, absolutely. That does make me sad, and I may or may not wear a Browns jersey on Monday. But again, thank you so much for everything. Thank you, Bullish Bombshell, everybody out there, Mick J, Adrian, Rudy the Rock, everybody, man.
I don't know what that means. So
what did he say? Do you know what a kiss below the CN Tower means?
Kiss below the tower? I don't know.
I probably kissed my wife about 100 times below that. I've kissed my son numerous times. He loves going to the CN Tower. So now he's older now, but we used to go there when he was younger. My wife does not like heights. We've talked about that, going up the Eiffel Tower.
But the kids are cool with it, right?
Oh, yeah. They love the CN Tower.
Actually, I remember Barron at the old office. He'd look out the window and he didn't care. Like, he was pretty chill.
Yeah. Lots of stuff happening. I was trying to find, there was a throwback Thursday.
Watch some Jim Brown this weekend if you can.
Yeah, here. This is me and my wife last weekend. Last time. This is it right there. There it is. There's the CN Tower. So just below that
hard to miss
is the Rogers head. Oh, it must have been a throwback Thursday. There. Yeah, here we go. This is High Park. Anyways, it's been a really, really fun week, man. No matter what you're up to this week, Brett and I back next week. Of course, we say bon voyage to you, Neil, right there. Impress a lot of people on the plane by saying that one, and
I doubt I will.
You'll have a lot of fun, that's for sure. So it'll be Max here next week, and then Arun will be here as well. So we're rolling out the red carpet for those boys, but it should be a good one. Brendan, the wife is back in the city.
Oh yeah.
So what you guys got any plans or?
All is well. No, we're going to be hanging out around Toronto this weekend. How about you?
The best of all plans. The best of all plans. How about me? I don't know. I just open up my calendar. I do.
Sean's literally.
I think we're gonna go buy some skates tonight.
Okay. That's right. She wants new skates.
Yeah, she wants new skates.
Oh, she's getting new skates.
She was throwing a fit last night, and I was like, you know what? I'm done with this. Like, I'm not buying you everything again. And then about 20 minutes later, it was like, oh, I'm sorry, and all this stuff. And I was like, okay, whatever. I'm going there. I don't know. I'd have to check my phone. I'm sure we have some plans. Oh, I finally got rid of that barbecue, so that's going to be back in the backyard. A brand new barbecue. We'll light that up and throw down on that as well. So
christening a barbecue. That's a good weekend.
Yeah, that's going to be a good one as well. I'm sure there's lots that we're doing. But okay, thanks, Brendo. Thanks to everybody else. Thanks, Mahad in the back there. Thanks to us. I always look over here, but no one's sitting there. And I want to say thanks to Sharif and Max from the midday show. And a big shout out to you, Bears vs. Bulls, man. I mean, thank you so much for doing Streamlabs and everything that you're doing, helping us on the chat as well. There's currently 18 9 and 10-year-old girls in High Park Little League. So that makes me really happy, which means they pretty much will all make the team. So I don't have too many decisions on that one. But okay, big shout out to everybody. Thank you. Have a great weekend. Good job, Neil, today, and you've deserved it. Obviously, you're going to have a great week. Just don't do too much of that. Just have a lot of fun. Yeah, I'm not saying you won't, but make sure that you have a lot of fun. That is for sure. And anyways, why don't you wrap this one up?
I got to wrap it up. Why not? First of all, thank you everybody in the chat, not just for being yourselves and for all the best wishes. I'm going to have a blast. I'm going to miss everybody, but it's only 1 week. Yeah. Look, this is fantastic. I know we had Ahmed ring the bell, which was absolutely fantastic. Go get him next week. This market's going to be absolutely hot fire. That's Brendan. That is Ali G, or better known as Sean. Sean. I'm Neil. This is Trader TV Live. See you next week.